I'll be muted, so yes.
Of course you have been, Liam.
Oh, Liam. Oh, Liam.
Got to be there for the last session.
Guys, welcome to the final fight of your lives. Holy shit. Ben. Fuck, man. 5 gifted subs. Jesus Christ. I'll give you guys one bit of good news, actually. Hi, White Skull. Hi, Hanny. Ash, Liam, everyone in chat. Hello. One bit of good news. I have had word from Animerch, and they've been showing me some of the graphics. I showed some of you guys in Streaming Boys and stuff for the online store. Also, I have approved the design for OnlyDans. Not only that, as well... Fucking hell. The subbing's annoying me as I'm trying to talk, it's putting me off. Not only that, I'm not doing just a shirt for OnlyDans. In the Animerch catalogue, they do a beach towel.
Oh no.
Yeah. They even do an embroidery apron that I'm tempted with, I'll be honest. You should just imagine an OnlyDans apron. Sorry,
We're not the ones.
I'm just talking bollocks as I'm getting all my books out. Yes, Hanny. Like, could you imagine like an OnlyDans calendar with like a naked apron with the OnlyDans on it or some bullshit? No, before you ask. But no, I've got all my books out now. So, tonight is episode 58. I hope everyone is ready. Are you all ready?
Yep.
As ready as we can be.
Yeah.
If nobody talks, we can't die. We can't
No.
start.
If no one says anything, we can't start. and
I'm
that
not a
means we don't
fucking dinosaur. You can't just ignore me and I'll go away. That's not how this shit works.
Wait, everyone to different Discord.
But tonight is episode 58, and you guys are in a boss fight. You are in combat with the Numbers leadership. Not only were they worse than mages that you thought them to be, they turned out to be a lot bigger, a lot nastier, and definitely a lot scalier.
God.
Delatrix and Cyrus, ancient dragons of chromatic origin, one of red, one of green. You met them, and they were over an egg, which, from what you were told, was broken and destroyed, but now whole and ready. During the fight, it has hatched into a void dragon that you see before you, and a lot bigger and a lot more advanced than you would have expected something to have that's only just been born. Something has manipulated it, and something Cyrus seemingly had been doing as he was the one performing the ritual when you guys got here. You also encountered in this back and forth, as these dragons were in no mood to converse, and with verbal eggings and daggers being put at them from a couple of the party, they just want to get this fight underway. And a Horde Golem was there as well. Their horde that they had amassed was all ready to go. Hello, everyone. Jesus Christ, it's a busy chat. Just in time. Everyone's gonna fucking die. But as you guys have been doing work in this combat, some of you very, very well. Some of you not so well because you've been harassed in ways that you probably wasn't expecting, but a lot of damage has been done. The Horde Golem has been defeated. Or at least so we assume. Thank you, Liam, for the unicorn time. I will don the DM's hat. Everyone.
Oh, God.
Meet Danny the Unicorn.
What? Why?
Only gets a bit
That
horny when he's
suits you.
killing people.
That proper suits you, but we need to see more of the
Why?
horn. More of the horn, please.
I can't
Oh,
because of
Carl.
the
I
camera.
can't.
But as we now step into the continued combat, Delatrix extremely wounded. Cyrus and the unnamed dragon of the void seemingly relatively unhurt. Hope you guys are ready because Persephone,
Yeah, baby. Yes.
you're top of the turn order.
I know, and I'm shitting myself. I am hurt. I am badly hurt, but I'm gonna, fuck it. I'm gonna take a shot at this one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna aim.
So it's a flat roll.
Yeah. And I'm gonna use that one.
A 18 is a miss, unfortunately.
Let's
As
try.
from the extreme wounds that they have sustained so far, Delatrix has, he is starting to take you guys a lot more serious, considering he's had 2 shots that were very, very heavy. And he bats it away angrily, as he's currently maintaining his flight just about, given his one wing is extremely damaged.
Okay, so I'm going to bonus action, move. There.
Yeah, so you're using your bonus action to dash, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just use your normal movement, but unless you want to dash on top of.
You can't move. You can't move if you aimed.
No.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Well,
He
if you aimed, you should have advantage.
No, he's feared.
Yeah,
He's feared.
feared.
No, he's feared.
Oh.
Yeah, and that'll be it. So I've got to do my wisdom thing, or what is it?
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
No.
That is unfortunate. So you are still under the effects of the fear.
Yeah. Cool. I forgot about the fear. Sorry. There you go. Dumb.
Under the command of the dragon, Delatrix, that shouted for its attention, while was initially confused, it seems to snap into life as it almost instincts take over, as it can see its own kin being attacked. And given its younger, not young, but younger nature, it is just going to initially unleash its breath weapon on the nearest targets. So, Vian, it's without thinking too much about tactics, it's just going to do the biggest and best thing it can. And it's going to basically breathe down towards you. Just let me double check what it is. It is a 60-foot cone, so... Yes. So, who's this here?
Ooh,
Who's that there?
that's Cass.
Oh, yeah,
That's
it's alright.
Cass.
I didn't recognize the token, it's been a while. So, I need Nymph, Vian, Evan, and Cass to all make, for me, a dexterity saving throw, please.
Being
Question
6 foot
on-
Cohen, would he hit the red dragon as well, number 1?
Yes.
So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Question on that one.
Go for it.
Dex save person in front of, would she technically be giving me half cover on this or whatever? I'm not sure how other players are on cover versus.
Not I would say if it was a standard projectile, yes, but because flames, the way, like, think of a flamethrower, how it kind of like rolls around things. Unfortunately, not. If it was like a ballista or some bullshit that had penetration abilities, then I would say yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That shouldn't be advantage, I believe. So 14, and then
A 14, unfortunately, is a fail.
yep, that's fine.
Yeah, everyone there has.
And 12, so she also fails. So she's
Yeah.
just guaranteed dead.
Apologies, that is a fail all around.
Yep.
So you take fire damage. So luckily for Delatrix, he's immune. As you notice, the flames lick up. But these aren't just normal flames. These are like, you know, when fire burns like a blue and it's almost white in some places. It's unnatural fire as it roars out, and everyone who failed takes 30 points of fire
Danny,
damage.
who failed? Sorry, you
Everybody.
said that
Everyone
Vietnam's-
failed.
Oh,
Yeah, everybody. On
Okay.
top of that, you also take 41 points of radiant damage.
Oof.
Shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This shit don't fuck.
Okay.
That will transfer to Delatrix though.
has anyone got the impression Danny really wants to end this in a TPK? Like he's been planning this whole
Yeah.
campaign to kill us all
Yeah,
off.
it's exciting and like, oh my god.
hmm Is Evan dead, or is he just dead, unconscious? Do you know what I mean?
Minus 55.
Oh.
jeez.
That's dead.
no.
No, that's not
No.
dead.
I've got
Yeah,
125 hit points.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
he's
good.
nowhere
Okay.
near instant death. Like, he's tankier
Oh,
than that. But obviously,
Okay.
drop to 0 on death saves. Nymph has gone. Cass, Vian, are you two still up and okay?
Mm-hmm. I'm not okay.
Okay,
but I'm
no.
up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And
I've still got that healing word spell thing. Am I going to be using it on Evan?
possibly.
If it gets round to that point.
And
If we get to it.
And
yeah.
the dragon instinctually is going to use some of its movement to fly up. It's going to fly 30 feet, and it's going to fly over towards Cyrus, is what you actually notice.
Mm-hmm.
And it is currently flying and hovering over Cyrus, kind of just like unsure of what to do, and will kind of wait, engage, and see things and see how things progress. Greytail, after seeing that torrent of this unnatural blue and white flame just lick out and burn and scorch the field, and you see Evan drop to the floor.
Yeah. Bonus action to bite the crystal and cast fly on myself.
Okay. Nice.
Over to Big Red.
How high are you flying up?
With,
The full 40. Yeah. So
yeah.
what it is, I'm just going to... These to help with multi-level combat, and for everyone in chat so you can see, every coloured dot is 10 feet up. Because obviously the battlefield's two-dimensional, it's hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah. Uppercut on the way up.
Thank you, Michael.
Yep. I'm doing that.
A 20 will miss, unfortunately.
Wow. Okay.
I feel like I can't take this combat seriously at the minute because of the fucking headband.
Second punch. Nope.
Come on, Grey.
Nobody can take the DM seriously at the minute.
That will also miss, I am afraid.
Cannot fly.
It makes TPKs fun. Thanks, Liam.
Oh, was your second hit not it? Okay.
Yeah, the second hit was the 12, and yeah, if a 20 don't hit, a 12 definitely ain't.
Oh no, just one was at advantage, the other one wasn't. And I was like, wait, that, huh?
I
Okay.
don't think either were meant to be, so I just took the left one.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be advantage. Yeah, back up a bit.
Okay.
Brace.
For impact.
There you go.
Cyrus, seeing Helra in front, still not preparing to fly just yet, will look towards the Void Dragon, and you don't, like, no, he doesn't say anything, but you assume communication is being had because it looks back. You assume it's probably telepathy, some of those with more intellect in the party, which is a good chunk of you would at least understand that.
Haven't recently had it ourselves.
Yeah, it's going to take 1 bite attack and 2 claw attacks towards you, as it's reluctant to take flight at the moment for whatever reason. So, we're going to start with its bite attack against you, Hailra. As
Mhm.
that is not what I meant.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Right? Does 153 hit your?
What I was meant to do, I was meant to do 1d20 with a plus 15. I accidentally rolled 15. Does 153 hit you, Hailra?
Use shield.
yeah.
Use shield.
Right, hang on. I'll roll that correctly now. My bad. Does a 22 hit?
I'm going to use shield, so it doesn't hit.
Okay. And as you kind of do the shield up and as the teeth bite into the archaic shield that you've got, and you can see it's starting to crack in some places, and then as it releases back, quickly heals and forms into this like translucent, but you can see the slight shimmer of the shield. It's going to get annoyed and just make it like an X-shaped slash across you. So with the first claw strike with a 28 and the second claw strike at 21.
That hits. 21 misses.
Yeah, so the first rend,
AC is 27.
nice. So the first rend, it catches the shield just before it can fully regenerate, and just the tip of the claws just rakes along your breastplate, and it kind of like shreds some of it in places, which allows the deep gouging wounds. The second claw comes in and it deflects off, but it does hit, and it will do. Definitely not 15d20. Definitely not. It will
Just
do.
the tip.
Just the tip, yeah.
I couldn't help it. It's embedded in my head.
21
Okay,
points
cool.
of slashing damage. As
21 points of
the
slashing
claw just rends in, and like on your like left shoulder, you can see the strap that connects the two halves of the breastplate, front and back, has like been cut slightly, and you can see there's a deep gouge wound in like your collarbone.
Haste stays up.
Nice, 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 nice. His turn comes to an end. Boomer.
Boom, baby.
Remember, you are also feared.
Weird.
You do,
Okay,
brother.
I'm going to get the cannon to attack Big Red.
Okay. Ready, aim, and fire when ready.
Oh, yes.
Come on, cannon.
That's a
Damn
miss.
it, cannon.
That's a miss, buddy.
And then
Okay.
miss boomed.
So the cannon
Okay.
just kind of having to suddenly adjust upwards for the sudden change in trajectory. As it lurches back, the shot hits, but because it's slightly off balance because of looking up so much, the turret nearly tips backwards, causing the barrel to just wildly miss. It manages to right itself, but that's a miss.
I can't see anybody else, can I? Any other dragons?
You can, but they're far away. You can see. Hang on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's within range for
80
certain
foot,
things.
and it's not much more than 80 foot going the 30 foot up as well. Probably like an extra 10 or 15 foot, I would guess. I don't know the exact, like, bullshit angles and shit.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to tap that with the pepper box then.
Okay.
You still get disadvantage if you're scared.
Yes, although you're not scared of it, but you are scared of the red one.
It's the fact that he can see the red dragon.
Yeah,
You can have disadvantage.
Your hand's
on
like
whatever you
trembling,
attack.
you're a bit nervous.
It doesn't matter
Alright.
which dragon you target. It's as long as
Yeah.
as you can see red. That's it.
Yeah,
Okay,
That
I'll
is
carry
correct.
on red then.
okay, you're gonna just shoot red?
Yeah,
Yeah, was you hoping to, like, avoid the fear by changing target?
that
Yeah.
was the idea. But
Yeah,
if not-
unfortunate, that's not how it works. As long as you can see the thing you're scared of, its mere presence gives you...
Oh, come on.
No.
okay.
Was it 30 or 38?
Only just about hits, actually.
Damn.
Boomer.
That is pretty damn good. As the turret misses, and you kind of just like, couple breaths. And it's a big fucking target. And you just raise that pistol high in the sky. You can see it's like shadowed silhouette because there's the daylight behind. And you just kind of fire in the general direction. You close your eyes a little bit and just squeeze as the pistol just rocks back in your hand. And you don't really hear like a roar of pain or anything significant, but you hear at least like an impact sound as it hits on the hard exterior scales. It's done some damage.
When he was aiming, did he feel like a slight hand just slightly correct his aim? because it's God weapon wanting revenge.
Fuck it, it can flavour like that. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Mr. Going, kill the fucker, please.
Yeah. Boomer,
Boom.
is you done?
Yeah, I'm going to back away.
Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah,
Actually,
I was going to say make the wisdom
That's a
save.
good point. Yeah, wisdom save.
No.
That is not enough. It's not enough. But moving on. Pass. You've just taken
I am
this
going-
fire. What's your response?
Looking at, the dragon, she just kind of moves her left hand over towards Evan, smiles at it, and just casts heal on Evan. 70 hit
Damn.
points, baby.
Okay.
70 hit points.
Yeah, so you just kind of clasp your hands around the holy symbol that you have and just focus on it for a moment as the evocation just builds and builds in this large funnel of magic. You see a couple people going for crystals and a couple of people preparing some spells, enough to get you on your feet. On Evan on his feet, not you. But then you're like, oh no, this is my business. And you just unleash this large amount of celestial energy and practically heave Evan like a foot off the floor with it as the energy just goes to drag him up to his feet and then kind of thuds him to the floor as like a shock wake, and then that power then goes into him and then actually heals a lot of the wounds that you've sustained so far. Pretty well done.
I'm presuming it doesn't do anything for my busted kneecap.
What was the requirement to
Busted.
fix? Because that was a level 6 spell, so I'm pretty sure it may do, actually.
Busted kneecap. A 3rd level heal, so yes.
So it will also have healed the
That's
injury you
6th level
sustained.
heal.
Yeah, you hit it crack into place again.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. So
every wound heals.
He wakes up in pain, and then you just hear and feel your leg being manipulated, and you hear a hefty crunch as it puts itself back in place. It hurts, but then, I don't know if you've ever dislocated anything, but
No.
when it gets put back in place, it hurts like a
Oh, the
bitch.
pop.
It
Oh,
hurts
yeah.
like a bitch, but then it's instant relief, and you feel that instant relief as you realise,
I mean,
oh, fuck yeah.
I mean that's just when that's what I get when you just like crack when
That is-
you crack your back or something.
that
it's
is
just
also
like,
fair.
ah.
That is also fair. But, Cass, is that your
You've got a
turn?
job to do. And then I am going to move a little bit to try and not be in a line with anybody. Yeah. That's so silly, but fine. And away from the dragon, mainly.
You're more
'cause
than
I
aware
can't
of how
get to-
dragons operate, and it would make sense. You don't know the exact measurement bullshit, but you know not
I'm
to
gonna go
cluster
smash.
and try and spread out a little bit. It's absolutely fine.
I'm just going to move away from it, so it's got to come. But it can't get to me, if
And
that
as-
makes sense. I'm
yeah.
going back
And,
away.
and as Fian's turn begins, the DM unicorn ends.
Oof.
What are you doing?
Okay. I hate this action because I have to take this action,
Oh,
but okay.
Why do you hate it?
we'll see.
Because my health is at 20,
Yeah.
but I have to play offensively here.
Mm-hmm.
Fian
Are
gets
you
a
gonna
little
throw
bit
your sword?
closer. No, I wish. Fian gets a little bit closer and just glares absolute daggers at the dragon.
Okay. A
As
Delatrix.
she's yes, at Delatrix, and is going to psychic lance him.
Oh,
I would like one intelligence saving throw, please.
okay.
That he very much wants to pass.
Oh, die.
Interesting. Let's get this baby rolling. 13.
That's a fail.
Legendary resistance.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's
So
the
I need
first one
to prevent.
down.
Yep.
It still takes 10-ish psychic damage.
Yeah, 10.
I needed him to not have legendary resistances, so that would knock him from the sky.
Unfortunate, but that was the first one used.
Yep, I know. And then Mantle of Inspiration on myself, Evan, Hailra. Cass, how's your health doing?
Hurty, ow.
Yeah. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 4 close
much
to the
is that?
dragon, and then Greytail.
Okay.
That is 11 temporary hit points,
Ooh.
and you may use your reaction to move up to your speed without provoking opportunity attacks if you want.
Very
Half
nice.
speed. Okay.
No.
I will use my movement to. I'll use my reaction to stand up.
Yep.
Actually,
I will allow
no.
you.
I'm about to say I can't do that because I've not had a turn since I used my reaction when the dragon fucked off.
Yeah, but it's oh shit, yeah. So you can't use your reaction because you've already okay.
Slept Bellatrix after.
Yeah. Because that's fine. Because I was gonna allow you to pick your weapon up as part of your movement if you don't actually move squares, but I forgot you'd used it. Never mind.
Yeah. No.
Appreciate it.
I'm then going to, with the rest of my movement, not using my reaction, move a little bit further up.
Okay. So yeah, you've moved a little closer. You've tried the psychic glance. It seemingly resisted it, unnaturally so, with its legendary presence. You then snap mind into a mantle of inspiration and inspire the people around you and did what little bit you can, and then you're wounded. This is not a thing you're used to. So then a little bit of reality kicks in and you're like, I should probably take just a couple steps that way. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
But that in mind, and your turn over. Hilda, I think it's your turn.
Yeah. I'm gonna swing my longsword at the green dragon in front of me.
That's Cyrus.
Yeah, 4 attacks. So I'll roll them one by one if that
Jeez.
works.
Yes, with disadvantage, please.
No, I am not feared.
You have the token.
I'm not feared. I've never been feared.
Well, you've got the fear token on you with
I
everybody
used
else.
Indomitable, so I didn't have the fear.
Okay.
Last session, I've got one Indomitable.
I will lead or remove it then.
I swear that was it. I've not got fear written down anywhere.
No, because you were you were by the side attacking it constantly the entire time.
That's fair.
Yeah.
A 16 is a miss.
Misses, I'm guessing. Second attack.
$22 will hit. That will hit.
That's 1.
A 19 will miss, unfortunately.
And my final attack, using my hasted action. Oh my god, that was a terrible turn.
Cyrus, you guys have noticed the comparative nature between the two. Bellatrix is very much the dragon that people expect to be in the way he acts. Very full of himself up front and very trying to be domineering in his presence. Cyrus is very, very different and arguably more dangerous for that nature. Very reserved and stays to be very recluse and calculates before moving. You notice this because as you're attacking, he's able to block, deflect, and bob and weave out of multiple of your strikes. One of them does hit, but it does show, though, that the natures between the two are very, very different, considering Bellatrix, looming over the center of the battlefield, although very wounded, is still trying to force his presence upon you all, whereas Cyrus stays to the side, has pulled the Void Dragon towards him, and is very calculating. Is that the end of your turn?
I will just move a little bit to there. No, I won't. I won't, actually. I'll stay where I am. End of my turn.
Okay.
That's it for me.
Eventide.
I think, wait. I think I've already used most of my stuff as well. Should I use it? Oh, did I use second wind last game? I've not clicked it.
Yes,
so
yes, you did.
I did?
You've used your second wind and your action surge. I don't know how many Indomitable you have left. That's a thing you need to track.
Indomitable, just I can do it on any saving throw.
But you have a number of them.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
roll.
I don't know how many
I
you've
have
got.
2.
Okay, you've
Yeah.
got
I
2
have
left.
2.
I know you'd used
Yeah.
1, but yeah,
I've used 1.
that's
Yeah.
fine.
Cool.
Eventide,
And I've used my action surge.
you come to wake as your leg is just cracking back into place. You've got the maul and the glaive on the floor either side of you. Obviously, I will allow you to pick them both up if you wish, as part of a get up.
So get up and stow one and
Yeah. Equip
Okay.
the other, whichever one you wish. You see Delatrix flying above you. You feel the singe marks, and you can just see parts of your clothing, which you're easily pat out. The blue flame just burning and bubbling.
Okay. I will. Well, I definitely know for the fact that I will not be able to use my Aura of Conquest on these things, so I will have to get up, and I will. Seeing that Red is not willing to get into a fight with me.
He's currently allergic to ground.
Ah, yes. Okay. Well, he has a grey tail dealing with him at the moment. That's all good. Last time, I believe I did, on my approach to the dragons, I did activate. I did put up the Ioun Stone.
Yes, you did. You have it up, you haven't used it, because it has a haste in it.
Yes.
Because yes, when you were approaching, before you swapped Maul to Glaive, you
Well, yeah,
you
back
did
when-
throw it up.
Yeah, when I was too busy dealing. Well, before I dealt with the the Horde golem.
Yes, no.
Yeah.
But yes, no, you do have it ready to
Yeah.
use.
Okay. So I will do that, and I will activate haste, and I will. Oh, was that me or someone else?
Someone
I
else,
just
okay.
heard somebody leave, so I didn't know.
Oh, no.
I
didn't
will
hear.
activate haste.
Yeah.
I will move around to here. Having put the glaive away for the moment and have the maul out.
Right.
I will use my
Momentary.
I will use my hasted action to make a single strike.
Hey.
Uh-huh.
With advantage, because you currently have
Flank.
its attention's on Helra, so it's got a distraction at the moment.
Okay, well, penny and pound and all that. I am going to use my channel divinity
Okay.
to give myself a +10 to hit.
That will make the difference. That will then hit.
Mm-hmm. And then I will use a 3rd level smite as part of that as well.
Impressive.
1, 2, 3, 4D. So
One
it's
even.
4, 5d8. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's 2d8 normally.
It's 2d8 for that. I get an extra 1 because I've got an improved divine smite, so I always get a d8 of radiance.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
So you get up to your feet, you put the one weapon away, and you go and you equip the maul, the heavier weapon once more. You kind of take a look at Delatrix and you just shake your head in a bit of a more of a disappointment, because you wanted to make sure that one fell. You don't have the range to do that, but you know other people can deal with it. You turn and you make way for Cyrus. You run round its side as it's taking strikes at Helra. You get up behind it and you just unleash a wild swing going downwards. You feel it's going to miss. You kind of just grip the thing a little tighter and put a bit of energy into it using your channel divinity, which makes the strike hit. You hit it on the base of its tail just as it connects to the back, and unleash a smite into it at the same time as you almost hit it and then recoil backwards from like the force of the explosion from the smite, and you just gain balance as it does a hefty chunk of damage, to be fair. Not bad at all. But is that all you're doing?
That is all I can do. I did not crit, so I can't attack as a bonus action.
Unfortunately.
Sorry,
Liam.
I'm doing some measuring.
Okay, that is not measuring. That is
I
drawing.
also had the ruler out and had the marker.
Moving on to Delatrix's turn. He's going to, with a huffed snarl, Cyrus! Ekon! Let's finish these. Now. Then we can continue what we're doing. And he will see if his breath weapon recharges. It does not.
Get fucked.
So, it sounds like he was out of breath there.
Oh yeah, no. It's beating the
He
crap out of
needs
it.
some milk.
No, it doesn't. It needs to fucking die.
Seeing you, Greytail, he's gonna charge you 5, 10, 15, 20 to there.
Oh.
And you kind of, as you back away and turn, you just kind of see this open maw charging straight at you like you're in a fucking ocean, like, and you got like a shark charging you. There's just this open maw, like half turned, ready to just snap at you. And allow me to add that. Does a 28 hit you?
Yeah.
It's going to then do its 2 claws attacks as well. So I'll just roll them and then we'll do all the damage together. So 31 followed by a 24 on its 2 claws following up.
Yep.
Okay. You kind of just see this coming and then you take a moment of like, fuck. As you take from the bite 22 points of piercing damage, followed by 14 points of fire damage. That's just the bite. And then you take a grand total from both claw attacks, 38 more slashing damage.
Okay.
Yes.
So Greytail,
Yeah.
Constitution saving throw times 3.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
required. I think he's down.
No,
Yeah.
I'm still up.
Ooh, okay.
Not by a lot.
Okay, so Constitution 7 Pro for the bite first, which is a DC 18. Because it's the 22 and the 14 together.
You remember you had that 11 temp HP?
I did, yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. And then for claw attack number 1, which was 18, so a DC 10. And then followed by another DC 10. Nice! You managed to maintain the fly, just on a couple of them. But you are extremely wounded as you're about to enter this like aerial dogfight with a dragon.
And he's about to win.
Mm-hmm.
What just out of curiosity, what are you down to?
23.
Damn, son. But that is Delatrix's turn as he almost is insulted by you trying to meet him in the sky and turns his attention towards you. Greytail, as you watch your fellow feline be mauled in the air, what are you doing?
You mean
Dear. Other one.
deer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Danny
fellow-
gets tabaxis mixed up.
Yes, he does.
Did I?
Yes,
Yeah.
you said Greytail. You see your fellow
Oh.
actually getting mauled.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
It's
We did.
time for my big boy spells, I think.
Mm-hmm.
God, Liam.
I'm gonna cast Moonbeam
Oh, fuck. That's a big boy spell,
at
okay.
7th level.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
I love how we had the synced reaction then, Danny.
Yeah, just kind of like that fucking hell moonbeam. Oh,
Just
7th
gonna
level.
double check. There's no height limit on it, is there? Because it's
No.
just like a beam from the sky.
Oh, actually, yeah, there might be.
I think it's 60 feet,
40-foot high cylinder.
which
No,
is
but you can
Which
put it.
one
It
doesn't it?
doesn't have to start at the ground.
Yeah.
yeah. I would say even on the ground, it's just enough because he's 40 feet up. You would be tickling his toes and belly.
But no, he's just gonna I'm gonna put it in the center so he's got 20 foot either side of him, basically. Just boom.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get to the corner of him because I can move it off if I need to.
Nice.
I just mark it off and I'll roll it when it's his turn again.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm just going to
That's where. This is where you put a 7th level
Actually,
moonbeam
it's
up,
going to
and then
let's go 2 that way.
Greytail's just going to punch him out of the sky.
Yeah. And that's the end of my turn.
Oh god! If Greytail takes this dragon down like DBZ style,
He could have got 2
Yeah.
dragons in one. Like he could have popped
I was
it.
thinking that.
You
Yeah.
Who
could-
am I?
you could
Going
have.
one first.
If we're focusing, yeah, focus on the damage
I'd
one.
say the other one's flying, but yes, the extremely damaged one that can murderize us with a 1 flame breath.
Mhm.
When he's done, I'll just move it over to the other 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Job done.
Very slowly.
So yeah,
Yes.
as you cast this extremely damaging moonbeam, and it just starts to glow around him, and it's preparing to initiate. Is there anything else you wish to do?
Nope, that's me done.
Not
I've done my
moving, no
movement.
nothing.
I did move. I moved down to here.
Okay, I
Oh,
thought you were already
here
there.
to start with.
Oh, okay, fair
No,
enough.
I'd
Fair
move
enough.
it further away.
Persephone, still mentally rocked by what's going on and a bit intrepid about what you want to do. How do you plan to act this turn?
I'm going to go what works for me. Shit my pants and cry.
It's fair. Roll,
nice.
roll for shitted.
I'm going to aim with my short bow against the red one again.
Yeah. Are you aiming for a bonus action?
Yeah, aiming
Fuck
bonus.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
failed, so I'm going to roll my wisdom, yeah?
Yes,
Yep.
please. Yeah.
And that fails.
That
so
is a
moving
fail
on.
as well. Unfortunate,
there we go.
unfortunate. The Void Dragon. Does its breath weapon recharge? Let me double check what the recharge is. I think it's 5/6, but just let me double check. Yeah, 5/6. Does it come back? No.
No, get fucked.
I love
think
how
we all
Michael
took
just
the
said
sign
get fucked. We pray to the D&D gods. Let us win, please.
Looking at Cyrus for a moment, and Cyrus looking back, it's going to hold its action, and you're unsure what it's about to do.
You are the most powerful dragon. Murderize those that are weaker than you. Starting with the other dragons.
Starting with the green.
But yes, it goes to act and then stops, and then you notice it's currently waiting, unsure about its next move. Greytail, what are you doing, boy?
How close to death does he look? He's
Pretty damn.
Pretty bad.
Pretty damn, yeah.
Punch that dragon. Punch the dragon.
Tenderize the fucker.
Relatable. A
Come on.
23. Guess what? It's
It's a hit. Yeah.
We did the bonk.
10 points of damage.
that is 10 points of damage. As it's currently like releases its teeth from you, you kind of just sucker punch it like right on its one canine tooth, and you knock it loose.
I'm keeping that. Bam.
It is a miss. You got to
It's a
punch
miss,
the same
yeah.
tooth, but you actually you go to uppercut it instinctually, and you like
Put it
kind of
back in.
no, what it is, his like knuckle goes right on the tip of the tooth, and it kind of oh fuck, as you just kind of punch the end of the tooth.
Yep.
Mhm. Key point. Bam.
That is also a hit.
Deck
Okay.
save, please.
Dexterity saving throw. I believe I can do.
Don't know if something flying can be
It's
knocked
not
prone.
a. Oh, it can.
Yeah, if you knock it prone,
That is a fail.
Burn.
It is going to legendary resistance.
That's another
Okay.
burn. That's another burn.
Smack. Dex again, please.
That is also a hit. Allow me to do the damage. And Dex again. 27.
oh,
I think that's a fail.
where's Silvery Barbs when we need it?
It's on my list for next campaign in the new next one. And Sylvie buffs. Oh, terrible.
You nearly punched that dragon out of the sky.
I know. What I really need to move.
Bloody.
You're
He
really
does
moves.
I'd say you're really needing to move. You can fly 60 feet. I'm fairly certain it can fly the same speed.
No.
Okay, you
It's
can fly faster.
got way more than that. It's gonna catch you no matter where you go.
I'm surrounded by people. Going over there.
We're gonna say you did it for a second then.
Whichever direction I fly, I'm going towards someone. Okay, I'm going over there.
I'm about to say, I've got one for you. Go
If you
up.
could have gone towards us, but never mind.
No, go up. You know what? I'm going to go up. Straight up.
Straight up.
60 feet.
Yeah.
60 feet straight up. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
We've
Oh god, that's going to hurt. Right?
There we go.
Oh god,
It-
that's a bit
It's not
small.
going to hurt when you fall because you have slow fall. I'm pretty sure you'll reduce the damage to 0.
Not if
Remember,
I'm
you're a monk.
unconscious.
Yep.
He can't slow the fall if he's unconscious.
It's basically a guaranteed death save fail when he falls.
Mm-hmm.
2. It's 2.
But if there's a no,
No, it's only 1 because it's not a crit.
Okay, cool.
A fall is not a crit.
That's all right then.
Is that you finished? now?
However, if it does do the flame breath, you are the least likely target, being straight up.
Yeah. Can I position myself in between him and the sun?
Sure.
Okay.
I think the way that the sun was being done before is about where the moonbeam is. So.
Oh,
Okay.
no, maybe not.
No, it's only 40 foot high, remember, you can do it.
Yeah, but no,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going off of the fact of where Boomer was shooting from and the sun was in his eye.
Ah.
Yeah.
Retail's unconscious body drops into a moonbeam. Does he insta fail the saving throw?
No, he passes through it too fast to take the damage.
Probably.
The moonbeam has enough time to go, hang on, what the fuck was that?
As it's now
You're gonna fall
Cyrus's
in the pit
turn.
just underneath it.
Yep.
Cyrus's wings unfurl slightly and go to take flight as he goes to fly upwards.
Oh, sentinel attack. Don't you dare, you little shits. This is us Hailra, obviously. Cass is a bit too far away.
Wait, I thought Cass was hitting with a sentinel opportunity.
Damn it! Damn it!
Evan, do you
Sentinel's
wish to
not
make an attack
working.
of opportunity also?
Yeah. I'm guessing because technically when he breaks attack of opportunity, triggers attack of opportunity, is already out of our flanking.
I'll allow.
We've got because I'm
technically,
only
yeah.
5 foot, so would I have had advantage on that attack?
No, it wouldn't, because technically, as you're attacking upwards, you'd need to be higher than it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I
no.
was
Well, it's
thinking.
as it leaves, so technically it's
no.
still within 5 feet of me.
Yeah, but
It's
it's as
within
it
5 feet.
leaves from where it is, so it'd be 5 foot above you.
But I am not on the
20.
opposite to Cass's
you're
flanking.
yeah, you're not. Evan
okay.
would need to be like 20 foot above ground, sort of thing.
That's fine.
Yeah, 13 is also unfortunately going to miss.
Mhm.
As Cyrus makes a command to Ekon, but he does this in Draconic out loud. None of you speak Draconic, so obviously none of you know what is being said.
I think somebody in the party speaks Draconic.
No, we've had this check already because they were speaking Draconic before.
Sorry, other game. I've forgotten.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I
apologies.
understand all languages.
Yes, I knew somebody did.
Oh, I think what it was because of your read lips thing that you didn't get it. Okay. So, Greytail, what you hear in Draconic is, "Come, Ekon, let us end this and leave." As he flies up 30 feet. So, 1, 2, 3.
Bump straight into his child.
But this is up diagonal, so yeah. Then it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50 to there. And will use its breath weapon on Delatrix.
Fuck.
What?
Okay.
And follow.
Green dragons. Can't trust them ever.
And the Void Dragon, obviously, I will move it in a moment, but will make following very close behind.
On its turn.
Well, it
Well, no,
held its action
Held his action to follow.
to dash.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So Delatrix is going to need to make a Constitution saving throw. She's most likely going to pass. 29 will indeed pass, but he will take but a half as
Oh, the other dragon daddy didn't want him to have visitation rights.
Well,
Well,
it's not even dad. This is the uncle.
yeah, Cyrus has no actual relation. Bellatrix is
Yep.
the actual father.
He is the father, and now he is dead.
And obviously, halved will take 35 plus 4, 39.
36 or 37.
It'll be 37,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
which
If he
she's
kill steals our fucking red dragon.
Danny,
Mm,
too,
Danny,
Danny,
you're
how do I
paid.
want to do this?
it was enough. He was down. He was down into like 12 hit points.
Oof.
And so as Cyrus makes his command in Greytail, you're the only one that understands. Everyone else hears the hissed snarls of Converse, and you see the Void Dragon just kind of wings beat once and just kind of it like you notice its flight's unusual. As it flaps its wings once, its body then moves as if its wings are continuous, but it doesn't. The wings are like tucked back and its head's down. And it follows Cyrus intently, and as it goes up to Bellatrix, Bellatrix kind of looks but doesn't pay too much mind. He's expecting backup of some kind. And then you just all see this poisoned fog just over arc onto Bellatrix and just fill its area as it turns in shock. And you see Cyrus and it have like a face-to-face. They don't say anything. And given how wounded and damaged they are, there is no reaction to do anything more as Bellatrix immediately starts falling out of the sky. Gone. Followed very closely by Ekon with that speed. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 70, 65, 70. And it'll fly to the other side of him. There. It had a bit more, but it chose not to use the rest as it's staying by Cyrus. Make of that what you will, guys. As Bellatrix starts falling, as now it is just these two currently flying. And Cyrus has the body language of seeming to go to leave the area. It looks like he's about to start flying higher and away, going northward. Boomer.
You are no longer afraid.
Yes, all of you that...
No.
No, that's a good point. All of you that had fear are no longer feared because it was Bellatrix who procured it. So I'll remove those.
I don't know what to do. It's saying they both are about to fly off.
Ekon is following Cyrus, and Cyrus has the body language of flying up and away. You guys are going to make a play, I would say now is the time.
What, to whack this thing?
Stop it fleeing.
Okay, which one's the weaker one out of the two?
Green has taken more punishment, but Green is also an older, more mature dragon.
Yeah. Ekon has barely taken anything. Cyrus has taken a couple of decent hits, but comparative to its entire ability to sustain damage, it's
They've
not...
probably taken about the same amount of percentage damage.
In the range of, yeah, they're about the same percentage-wise. It's completely up to you, but it does very much seem like Cyrus is the leader of the two, as Ekon seems to follow Cyrus.
Put as much as you can into Cyrus if you have a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll do it. Can's gonna take an aim at Cyrus then.
Come on, Cannon.
Can's got descending.
Fuck off, Michael, I heard that.
Everyone thought it, come on.
A 21 just hits. Just.
Yay!
Nice.
Literally, bang on the money.
I will force it to move. Can I do that?
If it's part of its ability, yes, you may.
It's to take it as a creature. I'm going to move it back 5 feet.
You're just going to chuck it a little bit more into the air. Just
Yep, just as it just gets shoved across a little bit.
Yeah. And then a shot from the pepper box.
The boomstick. Hell, look, another. Wow, another 17 from the pepper box.
That is
Mhm.
Of the
damn
dice.
good. That is damn good. As you guys... Now Bellatrix is out of the way, you guys start to focus your attention onto Cyrus. Seeing what's happening here and seeing what may happen if you don't do anything. Boomer, you send your turret to target and you point the pepper box yourself. Both of you taking fire, now no longer hassled by the presence of Bellatrix, seeing its body fall out of the sky, and I have dropped it 10 feet already, as you'll see. You guys see as Cyrus takes a couple hits and he's harried a little bit. He's starting to take some damage.
That bit.
Is that all you wish to do?
It's going to be the turret a little bit just out to the impact range.
Yeah. Pass. Again, seeing all this happen, and while you don't understand what's being said in Draconic, only Greytail does, you out of everybody is the most insightful person, and it is very clear that Cyrus is turncoated on Bellatrix to some degree. Details you are unsure of.
Well, yes, you are the most insightful person. It appears the green dragon may have betrayed the red dragon.
I was wondering, I'm very insightful. I think I might have got that.
Everyone,
Hold on.
no, I'm just pointing out
Didn't
that
miss fire.
I'm just pointing out that everyone else doesn't have the ability to do so. Congratulations, Cass.
Greytail's up there scratching his head going, was he aiming for me?
Yeah, he was. He was.
Blind.
Cool.
Wow, that dragon needs Specsavers.
I'm going to move in 30 feet
Okay.
to my friends. So, I've just done it and I'm immediately forgotten. 20, 25, 30. And then I am going to drop Mass Cure Wounds in the middle here. So, us four will all get a little bit of healing. Everyone else is too far away. So that's 3d8 plus my spellcaster modifier, which is +5. Oh god, go away, turn order. Oh, that's 9 points of healing to each of us.
That is a fantastic amount of healing.
That's a bit shit, to be
No,
honest.
that's
But
great.
never mind. It hits 4 people though, so that's what's the good thing about
Well, I am, including 10 hit points, now up to 90, so...
Yeah, so 38 points of healing is distributed amongst you all evenly.
Yep. And
Sorry.
then that is the end of my turn.
36, sorry, not 37. But that is the end of your turn.
It's 4 9s, so
Yeah.
26.
Again, you see this scene before you. How are you responding? What are you doing?
I only really have one way to get them out of the air, so let's just stick with Psychic Glance to attempt to ground this one.
Okay. Intelligence.
Saving throws. Yeah. Saving throw, please, thanks.
You are certainly welcome. As it gets a 12, which it's going to use its legendary resistance.
Yep.
I can hear Rose raging in the back.
We're fighting ancient.
I know.
I just heard I just heard the inhale of it's failed, and then I heard the exhale of you. It's a shit.
You bastard.
I heard it.
Another 19 half.
That is still
10.
pretty good, yeah.
Bonus action. Move first. Bonus action to Persephone, Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
Nice.
So Vianne calls out towards you, Persephone. Almost like a bit of, come on, you fucking got this. As she tries to once more penetrate the minds of one of these draconic beings, and unfortunately is pushed back by resistances beyond what these should feasibly be able to. Something else is calling upon their protection. Hailra.
Okay, I'm gonna run across the battlefield because I'm hasted. So
You're fast as
I'm gonna
fuck,
get
boy.
in between the two. I'm fast as fuck.
Just remember, they're
and
both
then-
30 feet up.
So I'm going to cast Rhyme's Binding Ice up and try and get both of them in the 30-foot cone, which I believe if they're both
They're
30 feet up should
just
work.
inside. They're both just inside, yeah.
So I need a Constitution saving throw from both of them
Okie
Please.
dokie. So
against a 16.
we'll
If this
do
works.
Cyrus first. The 26.
It's a pass. Come on, baby.
And Ekon 13.
That's a fail. He's
Legendary
going to drop out the
resistance.
sky. Wait, the baby has. Oh my god.
The adult dragon also has.
It's an
There's
adult.
This is
9 legendary
bullshit.
resistances on
not.
this table.
No, I know. It's just Danny has tried to kill us. They still take half damage.
I have not tried to kill you, you ungrateful fuckwit. 9 points
You
of
have.
Oh.
damage.
Two ancient. They take 8 points of cold damage each.
Okay. You notice that the Void Dragon is seemingly entirely immune.
That's fine. I mean, this couldn't get any worse, could it? Really? And then
Oh,
Why?
it could. It really
Look,
could.
Look, it's already screwed us. With this, all these things have legendary resistances. We're fighting 3 dragons. This was already shit to begin with. With my extra action, I'm gonna throw a dagger at
Okay.
the green one.
So you try
Is that-
this massive archaic spell that doesn't seem to hold. So you think, what's better than a really, really powerful ice spell? A dagger. Got it. Whoosh.
That
He
hits.
hits with it.
Okay, it fucking hits. Okay. Okay. Fair. What does it do?
5
Okay.
points of damage.
Okay. You know what? Sometimes the damage sources you least expect are the ones that work.
Leave the most damage.
Yeah, exactly, Tortle. It's like she just unleashes arcane torrent of ice and she just goes, fuck. I mean,
Knife. I cast knife.
dagger?
No. That's it. She cast ice knife. She just did it separately.
Oh,
Yes, thank you, Michael.
she did ice knife. Like it's like how you go to a posh restaurant and you order deconstructed this, deconstructed that. You just
Yeah.
cast deconstructed ice knife.
Deconstructed ice knife.
Look, I tried to do something. I was thinking that if I could try and hopefully get them incapacitated, they'd both drop, but it
I mean,
didn't
that's been
work.
my
So
last 3 turns.
yeah, we just got to keep going. Cool.
to put
That
in
is the end of
a-
Howard's turn.
Yes, Ben, one dragon down from the breath weapon of another. And yes,
It kills Stole.
drumstick, you may certainly
Yeah.
fight the dragon with a butter knife. 5 points is 5 points. Eventine, over you, baby. How you doing?
Okay.
Remember, you are hasted.
Yeah. I run up to. Yeah, I don't really have anything to.
If you've not got any reach spells, because I know
Uh,
you've obviously got smite slots.
Yeah.
I know the way you do it. I'm just meaning, have you got anything ranged?
In the an absolute unlikely chance there is something I could do.
Try it. Anything's tryable at this stage.
Okay, it's one of 2 options. It's either. Hang on, where is it? Concentrating. No, wisdom saving throw, failed save. Okay,
Yes.
okay, I'm going to kind of looking towards Ekon.
Ekon.
I'm going to kind of try and lock eyes with it as it just kind of comes down, just trying to. This weapon nearly destroyed your father in one swoop. Care to try any better? And I'll cast Compel Duel on Ekon.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay. Okay. What
It's a
type of
wisdom-
save?
It's a
Wisdom.
wisdom saving throw. do not have a very.
22.
I have a DC of 16.
Oh, that's a shame.
Can we impose disadvantage in any way?
Because one thing, obviously, you guys probably may or may not have noticed, Ekon doesn't seem to have the spell resistance that the Elder Two did. Obviously, recently born.
I'd say, like I say, I was trying to kind of push into its kind of its pride to try and see if it'll do anything, but it's probably too young to actually have a pride yet.
That is also very true. It is literally a few seconds old.
Yeah. Right, well, there goes the first level spell slot.
I mean, it was a good try.
Oh dear.
Is that you done?
That's the thing. Yeah, I'm about to say it could not. It was compelled. If I'd have done that, it couldn't have moved 30 feet away from me.
Yeah.
I'm going to have done
sorry.
that. I'm just double checking if that was an action or a bonus action.
Okay. Well,
and then if that was the case, if
I've
got
you're
an
on
action,
deck. Just bear with.
Yeah, but
You still have your hasted action.
Oh, I still have my hasted action. Well, okay then. Hasted action can't really be save, can it?
Mm-mm.
So
Well, it can only be attacked dash. Use an item, I think.
Okay. Compel duel. It's a bonus action, so I will save my action to move up to. Yeah, I will have swapped. I'll use my hasted action to swap my weapon.
Okay.
And then I will prepare my action to move up to a dragon that lands if it does.
Yeah. So if anyone dragon hits the floor, or at least within your reach, I would probably. Is that fair?
Well, given the fact, I'd say I've got a 60-foot movement with haste, so
yeah. Okay, that's absolutely fine. So you can hold that action, no problem.
Yeah.
Here, it is now your turn to act.
Yes. I'm going to use my moonbeam to the baby adult dragon.
To the void dragon.
That far?
I don't know.
I believe it can move 60 feet, yeah.
Yep, and I'm still in the... Let's quickly double check from the safe side.
Okay.
Hold on, where's Moonbeam? I've lost Moonbeam now, hold on.
If only.
How you don't know this spell very intimately? I do not know.
I knew the spell, I just wanted to double check. I just couldn't have the alphabet right then.
You don't know the alphabet? You just fucking say you don't know the alphabet.
I looked at my Moonbeam.
Yes, you did say
G,
that.
for some
He
reason.
said it.
Yes, you can move it up to 60 feet in any direction on your turn.
Yeah.
So you're going to target the Void Dragon, Ekon.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're sure.
You're going to hit the space dragon with moonlight.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to get his attention a little bit, to be honest.
Well, no, I was just more or less saying, are you sure? Considering everyone said target the green, but that's what he wants to do.
This is Liam, so therefore target the green. Obviously,
I gave him his chance, and he's chosen.
Yep.
So you move the moonbeam over.
I think. Yeah.
No, you don't, Liam.
I know
no, you don't.
I think.
Yeah, I think that is the epitome of Liam right there.
That is Liam.
Okay, end of your go.
Yeah. I think it is. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Persephone. Your mind kind of calms for a moment as you blink, as you watch the Bellatrix fall from the sky, which he will have fell another 10 feet by now. So it has gone past his turn, that's why. Because
they don't fall that slowly.
Yeah, no, it dropped 10 feet. I dropped him 10 foot instantly. It's gone past his turn to another 10 foot. Next turn, 10 foot, 10 foot. Just dropping 10 foot every 6 seconds. That sounds about right. But it doesn't really matter. No one's in the crash zone anymore.
No, it was more on the lines of he should have probably hit the ground about 20 seconds ago, so why is slow time on him?
It's only been like 10 seconds.
Yeah, you can fall like nearly, isn't it 40 feet in 10 seconds?
I don't know the exact rule, but it's fine. It's not affecting anyone else at the minute.
I'm going to stay where I am, and I'm going to shoot the green dragon, please.
With an aim?
With an aim, of course.
So you'll have advantage. Which means your sneak attack will proc.
Finally. Yeah, so...
Come on, Persephone.
A 25 will hit, dealing a grand total of 19 points of damage.
And I'm going to use I can finally use it because I've
Yes.
hit someone.
And you see, this is why I hate
while
auto.
from the grave.
And this is why I hate auto damage, because look at how much nicer that other damage is.
Yeah.
This is
Oh,
why you
nice.
never have auto damage on.
But
No, I
it's-
turned it off on
Yeah.
D&D Beyond.
So I'm going to use Wow from the Grave as well for extra damage.
Okay.
Wow.
And it'll hit that one and the Void as well.
Yep. Do you want to know? You guys want to know a joke to break the tension at the minute?
I've
Go
already
for it.
seen it.
What do you call a
It's very
dragon?
funny.
What do you call a dragon with 3 legs?
Go for it.
Confused and under attack.
Oh, God.
I kind of like it. It's dumb, but yeah. So you fire this shot into Cyrus, and then you see some like spectral energy just transfer between the two as both of them take extra damage. Officially, Cyrus is bloody.
Hooray! That's about 150 points of damage at least done.
Ish, yeah, ish.
Ish, sort of, kind of, maybe.
But yes, and then you notice that Ekon takes some damage as well of the necrotic kind. As Persephone,
Yay, baby! Yay!
your mind is clear for one of the first times in this combat.
Now you
Yeah.
realise, oh fuck, 2 more dragons to go.
Yeah.
And as Ekon's turn comes around, so does the unicorn. It's more.
Yes, the unicorn returns! Ah!
Mhm.
That
So,
looks like that would probably hurt behind your ears. It looks like that kind of thing.
my head's too big for it to even reach my ears. It's like a 6-year-old's Alice band that Mom bought for like £1.20 from Asda. It's fine.
Aw.
On the second session, look to the east, and you shall see the unicorn.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben. Fuck off,
Does Ekon's breath weapon come back? No, surprisingly,
Ben. Fuck you!
every single breath weapon recharge, I have rolled a 3 for every single roll.
I know, what
It's
am I for
usually
it?
the case with dragons. It happens to us all.
You want to
Either
get a
they-
saving
either-
throw?
I'd say either it doesn't happen or it always does.
Yes, Liam, thank you. Constitution saving throw.
7th level moonbeam.
That passes.
Half damage.
Half
Unless it's a
damage.
Unless
We're
it's
going to do it in 2 sets damage.
No, roll it in 1, please.
Ah. Oh.
It's 10d10 essentially. Oh no.
70-10.
Okay,
Oh,
so
you
that's
just click the thing.
30.
don't
That's 36 down to 18. 18 points
was,
of radiant, isn't it?
Yep.
This is where you tell us it's immune to radiant.
Yeah.
I think it's a
no,
medium radiant is
it's not. I just have to double check because it does have some, but no, radiant is not one.
Oh. I only wanted to annoy him a little bit. He wanted to actually hurt him. That went quite well.
I wanted to annoy him, not hurt him.
7th level moonbeam.
A 7th level moonbeam. I just want to annoy
To
you.
annoy him.
Oh,
That
you
is-
come to us.
Right,
Like,
Liam.
that
Right,
really-
Liam. I'm gonna.
Liam.
Yeah.
You know, next Tuesday when I see you, I'm gonna
Yeah.
take a blade and I'm gonna cut you in the arm, and then I'm gonna go. Just wanted to
wanna
jump
do-
scare you.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
But I say, to be fair though, 18 damage to a dragon is more of an annoyance than a pain.
Yeah.
This is an infant. He was literally just born. He doesn't
know, and
understand
it's- and-
nuance.
Grown to
Really? It seems like an
adulthood.
adult. It seems a lot like an
Yeah.
adult void dragon.
It's been acting like an adult dragon, so
Yeah. Mm.
It's
You accidentally
What's
used
it
the wrong
doing?
stat block, Penny? Is it supposed
Yes.
to have the infant void dragon stat block?
it's going to use its action to get out of the hurty burn zone. So it's going to go 5, 10, 15. It's going to maintain its height, and it is currently holding its action once more. Cyrus. And
to
its
follow
turn.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. Greytail, your turn comes. You're 100 feet up in the air. It's a little cold, not gonna lie.
I know. Wholeness of body to heal 42 hit points. And bonus action, greater healing potion.
Glug. Yeah. So he drinks a potion and starts screaming in the air for a moment.
Yeah, and then straight down 60 feet.
Okay. Okay. So, Allow me to remove
Right.
all of the dots. 1, 2, 3.
Did you remember to add the +4 for the healing potion?
Potion. Yeah. I am
Need-
on a much better number than I was before.
Nice.
No,
Oh,
Oh,
a little bit over.
fuck you then. That's not a good number.
Right, quick check. Is anybody on 69?
hold on.
Anybody?
No.
No.
Oh,
No.
so,
If everyone
If
wanted to give over 17,
If I'd say,
oh,
if
that's
Danny,
78.
if I'd say if Danny wants to do 21 points of damage to me,
got you.
Mhm.
Great, is that your turn? As
Me
you
done,
take a moment, you start descending down, and you are fucking necking this potion while trying to focus a little bit. Cyrus's turn comes along and does his breath weapon recharge. Yes, it does.
damn it, we're fucked.
Fuck. I
Yeah.
go back up.
Buddy.
He's going to use his action to use it, as he's going to cast it down at the two people underneath him who are casting and throwing knives at him.
There was
Fucking
only one of us that did
knives!
anything.
And then he's going to move.
Only
away.
one knife, actually.
Just the one.
Yeah, just one.
So can both Evan and
Error.
Error.
that one, can both of them make Constitution saving throws, please?
You have a +3 to that.
Oh, thank you. And don't forget, we all technically have a big plus from. So that would be a 32, I want to say, because I think the candle gives us 2. Because I'd forgot about that, by the way, guys. I'm sorry, unless you've already done it last session. Brain.
I would say both of those succeed. As you're
Get
going to take
fucked.
half of 57. So you take 26 points of. No, yep, no.
28.
Thank you.
I've already,
28.
I've already got a global +5 into mine, so yeah.
Both take 28 points of damage. And he is going to move. Rather than keep going north, he's going to peel more to the east now and get away from those with the pointy throwing weapons. And he's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80. So there, as he's just barely on screen.
Appalachia.
And
Okay.
following close behind is going to be Ekon, as they are both seemingly trying to now disengage themselves from this combat. It is the end of Cyrus's turn, and Boomer, it is now down to you.
It is indeed.
Realistically, with how fast they're going, with the exception of those that are hasted until the haste ends, this seems like this is last chance saloon if you want to bring that big green bitch down.
Okay, bonus action, the cannon will...
You're in a valley, Liam, so the ground is relatively flat.
Elra, I think you need to make a Constitution saving throw as well.
Yes, thank you. I'd forgotten about that. 20 plus the 3 from you, right? And then plus. Does that work with concentration, actually?
Yeah, it's all saves.
Yeah, I'm fine then. 25, which was not the amount of damage I took. It's more than half the damage I took,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're fine. Thank you for the reminder, though.
Okay, Can's gonna have a go at Cyrus.
Cyrus.
Yeah. No.
That is a miss. Unfortunate, my dear friend.
Okay, so I'm going to
I didn't do
move
anything.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Let's see what range I've got. Oh, goody, I think I have. Yep. I am going to chuck a firewall between them two.
A fireball, okay. Holy shit, you've been keeping that in your back pocket. Do you have the range?
Yeah, 150 feet.
Not bad.
Fireball.
I am going to cast it at 4th level as well. So can you make a dex save, please?
Hey. Okay, we're gonna do Cyrus first. who rolls a 20,
So Cyrus succeed.
and it's a fail from Ekon.
Okay. Go with it 4th level. 96 damage.
Jeez.
That's a
Plus
good roll.
plus a d8 because it's
As
a
you're doing
fire.
it through the wand, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
an extra
39 points of damage.
Nice.
Yes, nice.
Won't be a lot, but it's a little.
That is
That's
pretty damn good though. Like, as you kind of just point this wand and just create a small point in the sky, and just with a small chain reaction of molecules, you just watch as these two are flying in close formation with Ekon closely behind Cyrus. The air around them erupts into a ball of fire. Because Cyrus is slightly ahead, he was able to dodge most of it, but it blows up in Ekon's face, and he reacts quite poorly to it as he's just taken the full brunt of it, unexpected, and just had no way of saving against it. It's just bang. It does distract him for a second and like momentarily stuns him, but he manages to keep flight.
Yeah, because I couldn't use fire damage on the other one. I was so I could when these two had no one around.
Cass,
Couldn't fireball the red dragon, therefore I'll fireball everything else.
you all watch as
Exactly.
this fireball just lights up the sky momentarily, and given how high up they are, and that could probably be seen for hundreds of feet around. And as well as, in theory, these dragons can be given their height now.
Well, if it weren't, well, their attention has definitely been drawn to them. If the roaring wasn't enough.
Yes. Cass?
Oh yes.
Cool. So this dragon's what, 30 feet up in the air? The green one is.
Both of them
They
are
both
30
are.
feet up, yeah. Add, for the
So
sake
what I
of,
assume-
add 10 feet to the, whatever the measure is
The
across.
distance.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't
Cool.
know the exact bullshit angles, but just add a little bit.
I'm going to guide in bolt the green dragon at 4th level.
Oh my. That's a problem.
Yep, let's see if it hits, because it's a guiding bolt. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Damn it. Never mind.
Golden Bolt is
I don't
guiding
know
bolt.
if I have an inspiration. I think Howard's
Uh,
got one, but I don't think Cass has.
Is it on your character sheet?
No, I meant bardic inspiration. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I thought. Yeah,
no.
yeah. Unfortunate. No.
Nope.
I know
Nothing I can do to
Persephone
that.
has one and hasn't used it. I know Hera's got one. I don't think you have.
Nope. Never mind. That would have been nice. Cool.
Leanne, again, you all begin to see now everyone is trying to bring down at least Cyrus before they both can flee. Try and gain as much as you can from the situation. You start to get the feeling this is probably going to be your last ditch chance. What have you got in store for us today?
Start off mantle of inspiration on the entire left half of the map.
Okay.
Boomer, Greytail, Persephone,
Bellatrix.
Seer, and myself. You
Nice.
can all move your speed as a reaction.
How much?
Didn't quite hear
Your,
what
Well,
you said.
your movement speed.
Oh,
So you get the
You
fly.
also get
move.
11 temporary hit points, but we're in the middle of trying to chase, which is the reason I'm
Yeah.
giving it. If that was unclear.
5, 10, 15, 20,
I will
25.
refuse the hit points. Just make that clear. Because of my
More than
I don't want it.
Go
Oh, wait,
away.
I've got too many.
Go away,
But my
healing.
my temporary hit points give me better things. Unfortunately.
Followed by Psychic Lance, Cyrus.
That's Cyrus. Okie dokie. That is going to be a 9. He's going to use his second legendary resistance. Rose, hold
No,
your
that's his-
snorts, please.
That's third.
Oh no.
That's
No,
his third.
That's his
Second.
third.
That's his third.
That is his third.
That's his third.
When did I use the
I'm
second
sure
one?
it's his third.
He's used 2 on me alone.
Yeah, so there's 2 psychic lances that you've used on.
I used 2 on Delatrix, 2 now on Cyrus, and 1 on Ekon.
I swear you've used one elsewhere.
The 2
Has anyone besides me forced Cyrus to spend a legendary resistance?
well, like you,
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
there's
One of the psychic lances was on Delatrix.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
on Delatrix.
No, I'm aware. I'm saying 2 have gone into Cyrus. That's yes.
Oh yeah, that's 2 failed. That's 2 he's used
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's sorry,
So
because people were saying
anyone besides me.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, we got confused.
We need to
this
start using them. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think there's just so many. Yeah. Okay.
Try to
But
keep
it
simple.
still does damage. It still does
Yep.
14 points of damage, which is in the grand
Painful.
scheme decent.
All right, all done.
Unfortunate, but Hailra.
Oh wait, I still have
Oh,
my actual move.
go on then.
There you go.
That's fine. Hailra.
I'm gonna run 60 feet. So
Yep, with
get
your
to, like,
hasted
under
movement.
void. Yeah, and then I am going to
Do not
use
throw
a
another
bonus
dagger.
action, a hasted action, to run a little bit further and get underneath them. And I'm gonna try Rhymes Binding Ice again.
That's
Just turning through.
dexterity, isn't it? Again?
Constitution.
Okay.
I can cast it.
Cyrus gets a 26
That's a success.
and a 31 from Ekon.
That's fine. They take 6 points of damage. Cold damage, obviously. Ekon takes 0.
Yes.
But I'm out of ideas.
Cyrus is taking damage. He's taking a fair bit of damage, but yeah, obviously the 2 heaviest hitters of your party are unable to really
Can't get
make
up
use
there.
of their full potential, and the only other heavy melee hitter is currently zipping about like a zippity doodah. Evan, you got any last ditch tricks in store, or are you gonna just wave goodbye?
Move to catch up as well. Another. Yep, it'll be another compelled duel to Ekon.
Okay, another compelled duel to Ekon, which is
Wisdom saving throw.
thank you. Just quickly, wisdom is that's a fail. And I'm not going to say he would use his legendary resistance because unless it's hurting him, he probably wouldn't instinctually think to do anything about it. So that fails. What does it do?
I put the book away. I don't know why I did that. The main thing
It
is it has
can't
this,
move away.
yeah, it has disadvantage to attack anything other than me.
Yep, and yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Okay,
So,
so
if it attacks anything, it pretty much must attack you.
okay. On a failed save, the creature is drawn to you, compelled by your divine command. For the duration, at disadvantage attack rolls against against creatures other than you must make a Wisdom saving throw each time it attempts to move a space that is more than 30 feet away from you. If it succeeds, the spell does not restrict its movement for that turn. Otherwise, it is stuck within the 30 feet. The spell ends if I attack any other creature. If I cast a spell that targets a hostile other than the target, if a creature friendly to you damages the target,
Quick
or
question.
Yeah.
Is it a concentration?
Yep, Danny, I
You
forget all of that.
You know,
No, concentration would casting it would have dropped haste,
and it will stun you.
Yeah.
and
Which would then stun him and would then break his concentration.
Yeah.
which means
So he's going to
technically-
undo it.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's too late.
I'm gonna be fair. I'm not that
Danny,
dickish.
Danny,
Okay.
I've already
That's-
cast it once.
Oh, he did, yeah.
Oh fuck yes. Ah.
So he wouldn't even be able to move.
That is too far gone. So unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, I do not
We'll
even have a turn. I am
we
gone.
will-
Haste is out.
Sorry,
Yes.
I realised as you were going into the details of the spell that it's
Yeah.
probably
For the
concentration.
sake
Sorry.
of, yes, your turn is forfeit there because you are stunned, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Ignore that entire turn. Yeah. Unfortunate. Greytail. What are you doing?
No, the other one.
Danny's blind to different characters.
Okay.
Look,
I'm gonna
Tabaxis
move-
look all the same to me.
Wow.
Oh,
Literally different patterns and colours.
Oh dear.
I mean, one of you is actually by a professional artist.
Okay. Can you see that yellow dot is right
No,
here?
their tokens look exactly the same to me.
excuse me, I doodled Greytail. That is not. I am ashamed. Don't look.
Yeah. Look, can you see my dot here?
Yes.
Yes.
Anywhere in this area, like around here, up to the dot, any stones or anything about?
I would say there are small stones and shit, yeah, there's plenty of them. on the
Okay.
floor.
I am going to cast Wrath of Nature.
Okay. Is that
So
concentration?
what now?
It's concentration, so Moonbeam will go.
Yep. So your 7th level Moonbeam.
Yeah, it didn't do anything, unfortunately.
Yep. Your 7th level Moonbeam. Yep. Your
Yeah,
big
I
boy
know.
spell.
It's going to be a 60-foot cube. That will last
Are you
long.
trying to kill me?
It won't hurt you, don't worry. It's only enemies it hurts.
That's what we said
Okay.
about Ice Snipe.
Okay. So,
Supposed to
it's
spell,
going to be from the
Liam.
green, but it's going to be a 60-foot cube from this corner down here.
Yeah,
Okay, so...
Liam, I have extended the map like 30 blank cells if you do wish to just use that.
Oh, we can't see it.
You should be able to. It's just
Okay,
white.
I'll-
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
all
It
over.
is there.
There we go.
I will do that in a second. I'll just
I
do
did
my
that
turn
because
first.
it looks like this combat's going to start rolling.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
we're chasing.
So, we know there's rocks. Any roots or vines underneath them?
They're flying, but yes.
I would say there probably is some roots and stuff, because like grass roots.
There, I made it green for you.
Fuck
Oh,
me,
God.
that is offensively green.
Okay. Any trees 10 foot within them?
Probably not, no.
Okay, so the other grass won't do anything to help them. So that's my action. Bonus action, I'm going to attack the green one with rocks. So this would be
Do you
a
wanna-
ranged spell attack.
Okay, so you cancelled your big boy 7th level Moonbeam to throw rocks in it.
Throw rocks, that's it.
Don't worry.
We've thrown a knife and rocks. We're running out of ideas, guys.
I assume they're good.
Okay,
Okay.
let's say
Does the 27 hit?
27, surprisingly, yes.
Okay, can I have, before I do damage, where's it gonna
Strength
gain?
saving
Strength
throw.
saving throw, yep.
well done, Liam. If this works, you're a genius.
Hopefully.
13, it's going to use its last legendary
Legendary
resistance.
resistance.
Oh
It still takes damage
boy.
though. It's non-magical bludgeoning.
Non-magical bludgeoning.
Yep,
3d8 non-magical bludgeoning. If that had have hit,
Yep, that
that
would have gone.
is, that's a
Fallen prone.
prone.
Yeah,
That's a
but
prone.
then-
I assumed as much.
Because the roots and trees as well, end of my turn, is on the ground.
Then he would have
if
been
he fails-
grappled.
Yep.
But he manages to shrug that part of it off, using his last piece of resistance to do so. He's slowly running out of resources.
That's on green.
That's on green, yes.
Cyrus. Okay. yeah,
Ekon has used 1. Cyrus has
Mhm.
used all 3.
We're counting this.
I know, that's why I'm giving it you again. And is that your turn done?
Yeah.
As unicorn form ends abruptly. Moving
And
on.
another
to
could we
Persephone.
do one favour, Danny?
What?
Give Stuart a whack.
Give Stuart a whack.
Oh,
Yeah.
what?
Okay. I'm sure you can do so
Hashtag.
Tuesday.
Yeah, hashtag eat boom my ass.
Hashtag eat boomer's ass? What?
Oh.
Wow. Oh,
Who
okay.
wins you?
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Persephone.
Mm.
Obviously, Stu's got something.
So let me get this straight. Adam wants me to beat Stu with hashtag eat boomer's ass.
Yep.
Hmm.
So in the
That's
meantime,
a hashtag.
It's only Liam on his way.
I already made the offer, don't worry.
Stephanie,
Yeah.
Versus
You saw
there.
that.
So,
Yep.
remind me, which one's still flying and which one's not?
Both
They
are
both
flying
are.
and both are
Flying.
30
Oh,
feet in the air.
crackers. Well, I'm going to go for the green one then.
Fair enough. Make your strike.
Hold on.
Holding on.
I'm going to. Ooh, I mean, is that bonus? Yes, it is. So I'm going to use bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark on the green one. Give me that little extra damage.
Nice.
And I will then. My action. Short bow.
Oh. You don't get the sneak attack, but still, 10 points, 15 points of
15.
damage, yeah.
And
Just think
I
if you'd have
will then-
aimed, you'd have got 29 extra points.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Never mind. But I'm going to get my extra points from this anyway.
Yeah, Hunter's Mark.
Ah.
We already got it from the first cast, but yeah, same points of damage. So yeah, you just draw back the bow and just thump, as it just arcs up and just plinks into its back as it as the arrow arcs up and then starts to arc down at the range you're at. Not much, but honest work. Is that all you've got in the tank?
Yep.
Moving on.
Yeah, that's it.
Breath weapon does come back. And I'm just going to roll a d20 here.
Nat 20.
He holds on, as this was a roll to see whether he start not listening to Cyrus, given everything that's going on. But what he's going to do is he's going to lurch the head back and just shoot a scorch of fire with its breath across the floor, and it's going to be in these people here. It's pointing
How big's
downwards.
his range?
It's 60 foot. It is
Okay.
pointing downwards, so Grey, you don't need to make the save because it's like a downward
away with
cone.
it.
Yeah, because
Cool.
you're above it. But you do basically, it's like standing right in front of a fireplace as these blue
What
flames.
kind of save?
Dexterity, please, as the unicorn mode engages. The stun ends the end of your turn, doesn't it, Michael?
Yeah, so it was already over and done with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not stunned now. It's good
But
to
it's
know.
not even. It's not stunned. That's the thing. It's not actually the stunned condition. I'm just.
You just take
incapacitated.
it. Yeah, you lose your turn essentially.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I've still got 4 left, 4 turns before it pops for me. If I don't get hurt.
Okay. So, Evan, you succeed.
Mhm.
Everyone else fails.
Wait. Isn't it a +3 from Evan at the moment?
Yeah, but nobody
Or
else is within 10 feet of me.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you're out of range. As you all take...
Oh, it's too late.
Evan takes half, so Evan, you take 11. But everyone else takes 23 points of fire damage. As this creature
Oh boy.
begins to fly upwards, as he will fly another 30 feet up,
Okay, send him a cube.
and then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 to there, using its full movement of 80 feet, as it is now 60 feet in the air. As Greytail, it's you, buddy.
All of the damage, Danny?
Hmm?
I thought last time it did its breath weapon. had
It
two
did
attacks.
like 18d6 or something.
Well, no, because Cyrus is 22.
Wasn't a breath weapon.
Yeah, but it had 2 damages, didn't it?
It had fire and radiant.
Oh,
last
shit!
time.
Yes, thank you. That's just the fire side. Thank you.
Mhm.
29 points of radiant, half for Michael and Evan, so that's 14 more on Evan. Thank you. I had forgotten. I appreciate that. Rose can have an inspiration on either character. I don't give a shit. Reminding me.
I can choose.
I don't care. You've got 2 at the minute. You're greedy.
I'm not doing this next campaign. I swear to
But no,
God.
I appreciate that. I had entirely forgotten it has 2 damage types. I only read the one. My bad.
I mean, Michael did point it out first, so he should have the
Okay,
inspiration. if
How about,
anything.
how about this? You both have one.
Whoa! We're going to die.
You're gonna need it. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm unconscious now. By the way, Cass.
Can we spend the inspiration point so Cass is only on 1 HP instead of down?
How about no death saves? Just
Okay,
0.
We'll just
Stay-
save it for advantages then.
So the inspiration doesn't work on death saves.
Oh no, it can work.
You
I was
can. I mean,
basically saying.
what he was saying is, can you be on 1 hit point instead of down?
Yeah, I was about to say.
And
if
I
we
was
spend
saying-
both
No,
days- yeah, I was
she's
gonna
on
say-
death saves. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
What I
Yeah,
was,
so it was-
what I counter offered with was stable down, so no death saves.
Yeah, that's why I was offering
Okay.
both inspirations for the one. But yeah, no, that's fine. Inspiration points, keep them, and then we can just death saves are easier to get you out of.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Yeah, we'll keep our inspo. It's good.
Okay. So, Greytail.
Yes.
Punch the
Does-
dragon.
Does feline agility work with flight speed?
No, I
What does it
don't
say?
believe. But go on, read it out loud. Let's
Just
If
your
it says you
reflexes
double your
and agility
movement
allow you
speed-
to move with a burst of speed. When you move on your turn in combat, you can double your speed until the end of your turn.
You are moving it.
Yes.
This is your turn on combat.
Doesn't
Danny?
say it.
Yeah.
Mechanically, it does say yes, although technically it really shouldn't, but mechanically yes. So
It's up to you. So
because the thing is, it's the spell's movement rather than your own. But the thing is, it's a mechanical thing.
Cool.
I'm just going to allow it based on technically based on mechanics. Yes, it works because that's
Can
what
we
I'm saying.
say, whilst he flies, that rainbow shoots out of his ass? Like
We're not
giant
mixing
cat.
it up.
Fine. I'll accept.
I pictured him just like actually running on air, just like
We're walking in the air.
Second question.
It's the
Is
Monkey
green.
King.
Is
Sorry,
what?
It's the
Second
Monkey
question. Is
King, yeah?
green still flying forwards?
Yes,
Green needs
30 feet
grounded.
up. 30 feet up.
Cool. So I pop up in front of him. I shove my hand in his mouth.
Okay.
I am holding a flat metal rod with a button on it.
Oh no!
I use my action
Yes!
to press the button,
Yes.
activating immovable rod. And he flies into it, and I go up 10 feet.
Huh.
I've
are
been
a
waiting
legend.
for that.
Oh, that is so good.
I'm just gonna roll a hang on, roll me a dex check.
Okay.
Come on.
Mm.
That
Yes.
that beats his AC, so what I'm going to say specifically, you are quicker than him, so you activate it as he flies into it, and it actually is stuck in his throat.
Mhm.
If you'd have rolled under his AC, it would have hit him, and it would have been external to him. But because of
I
the
was hoping
very
it went all the way into his stomach, but
Because-
I'll take throat.
well momentum and stuff, the thing is
Yeah.
he's got the ability to stop, but it's kind of like stuck in more like the esophagus.
Mhm.
And you activate it and back up quickly enough because, like I said, only because you beat his AC is that you managed to get it on the inside of Cyrus activated, and as you would imagine, it's probably going to do some damage to some internals in there because a solid metal immovable piece on tender inner organs is not going to be pretty.
Oh
Can't move
no.
around it as
I
well,
just-
or
yeah,
it's
and I
gonna
just-
come out of him.
Yep, it's
Nice.
gonna rip some things.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna
I
roll
just give him
that
a.
separately, but yeah.
I just give him a. Where are you going? Just as I fly 10 foot up.
It's clever.
you go.
Immovable Rod is one of my favourite magic items that is so underused
It's so
in
good.
our friend
Rumor
group.
gave it me so long
Well,
ago.
the thing
and
is,
I've not had a
in-
chance to use it.
in our group of friends, I think it's such an underrated item. I personally
Hmm.
love the possibilities, and shit like that is why I like it.
That was the first item I made as well.
Very
Hmm.
nice, very very nice.
So what you're saying is Greytail just shoved his rod down this dragon's throat.
Oh,
and made
gotcha.
it choke.
Yep.
He choked it
Yeah.
out with his rod.
I'm gagging a dragon. What's
With his
nothing wrong
rod.
Ooh. Take it like a big boy.
Oh
Are
dear.
you
Plus,
done?
you can't deactivate
No,
it.
no, Deer's got
People.
nothing to do with this.
No.
Are you done, Greytail?
I'm so done.
I'm so done.
Cyrus's
Cyrus's
Cyrus's turn.
Cyrus begins to
Um,
gag.
Can you roll for me 2d10.
Oh. That
Great
kind
tale.
of spicy mod damage.
That is
Ooh.
19
That-
points of damage. Given what and how and things, like I said, that's gonna, like, the outside scales and the flesh of a dragon is tough. The esophagus, the windpipes, and all that are not. And that, with the momentum he was carrying, the speed he was carrying, and just the sheer size of him and how small this is, like, that's gonna tear a few things, and that's gonna hurt, as he does react painfully and thrashes a little bit, but kind of unfortunately can't go anywhere. I'm going to class it as restrained, but with an he can spend his action to try and wriggle his way out of it, sort of thing.
Wriggle it out.
Yeah, so like he's got the indestructible with still flying to keep himself.
He has
from
to,
going
yeah,
through
but
it.
but then
Okay.
yeah, but then basically he's got to use his action to try and break free of it, which is going to be a dex check rather than a save, because it's too late for that. And he's going to have to beat the original DC, which is
30.
22.
30?
No, he's not pushing it. He's not.
No, he's not pushing it. He's trying to maneuver it off of himself. So
That's the
Ah,
difference.
In him.
Yeah, but this is a case of him having to, like, kind of.
back up.
It's gonna rip
okay.
through his
Basically,
throat
the-
as he's pulling it
yeah.
out. Look, he's not pulling it out. He's moving off it. Do you know what I mean?
Around it. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, basically, he's not moving it; he's moving himself.
that's
Yes,
the point.
They
Yeah.
put it.
So
He has to make a dex check and try and beat a 22.
essentially, yeah.
Cool.
Without advantage, though.
Because it's a dex check, not a...
Which I've just
Mhm.
looked. Actually, he can't beat
Just
a
a
20. He
horrible
can't.
idea.
He can't
Can't
make.
beat a 20.
He can't make it. He can't make a 22 a check. No, he's only got a +1,
Oh,
and his breath weapon isn't back. So
I just thought if I
unfortunately,
smack him and force him to move 15 foot backwards.
that
No, don't.
that
don't. Leave him there.
so yeah, unfortunately he's stuck. His breath weapon does not return. The only thing
If you get him from behind. Sorry.
God,
Get
no.
further in.
the only
I
thing
don't
he
think his
can
breath
do,
weapon would work.
the only thing he can do is, given you are within range, he's going to make two. He can't make his bite attack because he's stuck, but he can make 2 claw attacks against you. Great, and so 2 claw attacks and a tail attack is what he's going to do. Because yeah,
Can he maneuver himself around to make a tail attack?
his
That
tail's
is true.
long.
He's stuck in place.
His tail's long enough.
Well, he's got a reach on his tail, hasn't he?
Yes,
the reach on
20
his
foot.
tail. If we were taking from basically, like, if he's stuck in that position, you're taking where Hellra is as the starting point of his attack, probably.
Yeah, which is enough.
Even though I'm technically under him. But...
Yeah, I mean,
She
I
meant
meant
on a 2D
square-wise.
basis. Yeah. I knew what he meant. So the tail attack first is a 25,
Hit.
and then claw 1, claw 2, full hit, I assume.
17 bang on. Oh, I'm looking at the I'm looking at the dice, not the total.
No,
Yeah.
it's fine. So the first one is going to be the tail attack, as this is about all he can fucking do at the minute, as you've got him strung up like a pinata. At 21 points of damage from the tail, specifically, can I get a Constitution saving throw DC 10?
Yeah.
Nice. Claw 1 is going to do 20 points. Can I get another DC 10 Constitution saving throw?
Go
And then
on,
the
great.
third claw, 22, a DC 11 this time. Very, very
Yes.
nice.
I
Carl,
am-
are we boring you?
Yes. No, why?
I see Civ 6 loading up.
Sorry, Kim.
I just saw Civ 6 loading up.
That's all right.
I have you on Steam. So,
Steve just sold you out, mate.
a grand total of 63 points of damage as
Ooh.
the panic
minus 11.
the panic sets in as he's literally strung up, and it's about all he can fucking do at the minute.
That's gone. I forgot in my
End of his turn. Boomer.
Boom, baby.
Boomer. Boomer.
Okay, so the Kansas is going to move up 5, 10, 15 in range. Yeah. The Kansas going to have a pot shot.
Go for it. I will say with advantage because he's technically I've already called it as restrained because he literally can't move. 23 will hit.
80 points of force damage.
Holy shit! I really didn't think you guys were gonna stop him, and then that's fucking. You gotta respect the clever plays. Like sometimes the stupidest things work.
Now, I think I know what I'm about to say. I know what you were thinking then, and I know you put best if you don't do it. But I'm just wondering what would happen if you'd have pushed it to 5 foot.
Oh, he would have ripped out his throat.
That's what I say. If you go behind it and then kick it, it's got to go all the way through.
It's got to shove it further down the throat.
Yeah, because just for just for a weird visual, it's there technically. The immovable rod is technically on a basis.
Yeah.
I think because I could technically still move it.
You could shove it further down the dragon's throat, or
Shove
at
it,
the back
yeah.
of it,
I'll
or
move
at
it
the
so it
back of
shoves
it.
it further.
It's that one we've got to stop. This one over the other side, isn't it?
Yeah, but as
Take
soon
up
as
Daddy. Hopefully, Baby will be.
angry as.
But
I agree there.
There's the potential with your shove, is what I'm saying. Is yes, you might do more damage, but
You might rip it out of
you
him.
might just force it out the back of its throat.
I wouldn't bother leaving pinned.
Oh,
No.
I'll leave it.
Yeah,
Okay,
leave it.
where's everyone situated on the Cyrus?
Cyrus has got a Great Tail in front of him and a Hellrip beneath him.
I'm up
Immovable
for
rod down
up
the
10
front.
feet
Oh yeah,
in front of him.
Yeah, you're 10 feet
Hellra is
above.
on the floor behind him.
And
Okay,
Cyrus himself is 30 feet up. It's just you can't see his dots.
Yeah, I'm a bit.
Okay, I'm going to do a fireball on top of Cyrus.
Okay.
Obviously, so he's not hitting either.
So at
yeah.
the back end, yeah, so you won't get Grey Tail. That's fine.
Great day on Helga, so.
He fails his dex because he's restrained.
He's restrained. It's the fail.
Can't do anything about that.
So it's going to be a third level. The damage.
With a D8, remember?
Ears on top. Oh.
35 points of damage.
Fire damage.
He's getting pretty wounded. And the thing is, he's stuck. With the immovable rod stuck in his throat, he doesn't have the dexterous ability in his draconic form to do anything about it. And arguably, in human form, it's going to be a lot worse given size. Like, you know, like, I don't know much about superheroes, but I am very well aware of the Ant-Man theory. It'd basically be that.
Oof.
Yeah, watch The Boys. You know
Okay.
exactly what's going on.
Except for it's the reverse. If anything, it's not something.
It's not up, it's down.
Yeah, it's not something big growing up inside you. It's something big shrinking down around something.
Yep.
Ooh. Fuck.
So, Cyrus is very well aware he cannot go into his human form to make this any better for himself.
Make it even worse.
Unfortunately, Cyrus is smart enough to start coming to a realization that
he is fucked.
He's a little fucked, yeah.
Oh, Grey Tail. Like, so
Uma,
good.
do you have anything else?
I think that is the play of the campaign.
MVP.
No,
MVP.
the best play of the campaign so far. Cass.
Oh.
Can I get a death saving throw, please?
Yep.
Okay.
That is a success.
That is one more step towards safe. Leanne. And again, everyone but Cass. And Cass, I'm well aware of your perception. You don't see this. Stop asking. You.
I'm unconscious.
Exactly. This is the way to beat a passive perception. But Vian, you do see the dragon abruptly stop, and you all can see that there is a sheer panic. and spells are starting to rain in on the creature that he's now no longer moving.
Double checking wording real quick. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm
Okay.
in between these two.
Yep.
Dissonant Whispers.
Oh. Okay. That's a wisdom?
Yep. Oh, I have the second
27.
numbers wrong. 27 passes.
But he'll still take the 4.
Attempt was made.
Yeah, I was trying to do the math then of what the fuck was about to happen.
He
But,
probably would have had to go up, technically.
well, it would have been a...
Up or left.
Which, yeah, that could have hurt a lot. But,
Especially if he tried to turn around and fly that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he does save. He manages to keep his cool.
Okay, Bardic Inspiration to Greytail then. Turned on.
Kill him.
Thank you.
Job's done.
Oh, yours.
Is it a D10?
Hailra, you've been spending time trying to restrain this piece of shit, and Greytail has done it for you. Granted, he's still high in the air. What are you doing?
She just smiles at him doing this, quite happy. And yeah, I'm going to do another Rhymes Binding Ice. Just obviously missing Greytail, so I'm doing it on his back end.
Yep.
To
Dexterity
hold that.
savings throw?
Constitution.
Constitution, thank you.
Mhm.
17?
That succeeds. He still takes half a 3d8.
Yeah.
That would have been even more terrifying if you'd have done that, because then he would have been restrained by the ice.
He'd have been spit roasted.
He could have he could not have maintained his fly.
Oh.
No, he would have dropped.
He would have dropped.
Which is what I've been trying to do.
No, but that would have then ripped the immovable rod up through the top of his skull.
Yep. Next time.
On Dragon Ball
Next
Z
time.
Abridged.
I knew you were going there, Danny. Thank you for getting there.
I have got another action.
I mean, I'm only no worries. I'm only aware of DBZ Abridged because of people me and Ash know.
Yeah, no, you really. Yeah, if you've not watched it, you need to.
Yeah, I don't like Dragon Ball Z, so
you don't have to.
You don't have to.
It's crap.
What, abridged or DBZ?
DBZ, it's crap. Not a fan.
So, Hailra, do you want to finish off your action and then we'll move on to Evan time?
I'm just gonna move round.
Yeah, and I believe that was your
here.
last hasted turn?
No.
No, I've got another 2.
Okay.
3, sorry.
Thank
I'm on
you.
7 now.
Right, I've lost track of time a little bit. It's been a few.
It's because of the mid of the session, but I've been taking count, if that makes sense.
Thank you. No, I
because of
appreciate
pace.
that.
Because we've not had that many turns before we finished the end of last session. It was only like 4 turns or 3 turns, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then we've had 4
Yeah.
this time.
Eventine,
your
haste has successfully ended, and now you have yourself back. You can see that Cyrus is currently restrained to position, and obviously Ekon is leaving, but has hesitated slightly because of what's happened. What's your turn?
Yep, so I've already moved up 30. From
I saw, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to move up.
Yeah, so you're
30 to
dashing.
there. Yeah. About there. Hang on, what am I doing? I'm an idiot. Nope, there, and lay on hands, heal cast.
Okay.
So take back my movement and go to there.
Okay, and as you lay your hands upon Cass, who's just vanished from this mortal plane, unicorn mode ends. And obviously you can tell her when she gets back how much hit points she's received.
But yeah, that is my movement in action.
Dear, oh dear, what are you doing today, sir?
Considering it went when I got hit by the breath.
He lost his spell.
Yep. I'm going to do Wrath of Nature once more.
Second time as a 5th level.
Yep.
It's good to me,
I can't
brother.
do it at 5th level, but I have got plenty. So, bonus action, I'm going to use the stone
Okay.
on the Rod Boy.
I'm guessing you're moving that up a bit more than where it is.
Yeah, I did kind of mistake that a little bit there. There we go.
Just push it
it's not-
forward as well and get both of them.
You've got to
Put 'em
remember the other
both
one's 60
within.
foot up. It's too high.
It's
No,
60
no.
cube.
What? No, it's a 60-foot cube. It was right on the edge.
Oh, nice.
You landed last time where it was literally the last little bit of it could be in the corner of it, and it still was there.
Yeah.
But gonna yeet the stone at our Rod Boy over there.
You'll have advantage.
Oh. Hold on, why can't I do? Let's just nothing's rolling, so hold on. So 21 and 19.
21 will hit. Just.
Okay. Can I have a strength saving throw, please?
Yes. 24?
That passes. Yeah, so it doesn't go prone, unfortunately.
Yes, but damage is 9, though, which is still pretty good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to 5, 10, 15, 20,
Starting to
24.
become heavily wounded now,
That's it.
Cyrus is.
And that's the end of my turn.
Okay, Persephone.
Right, I'm going to aim at this one.
You have advantage anyway, so you don't need to use your bonus action to aim.
Okay, that's fine. And I will use my action to shoot my bow.
Go for it.
23.
Do
Let's
you want
see
to
if I
fish?
can get
I was
a
going to say, you
crit.
may as well fish for it. Nope, but a 23 will hit.
And my damage
Oh,
Plus,
plus my aim. Yeah.
no, not yet.
no,
No, yeah,
my aim.
plus sneak attack.
Hunter's mark. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, Hunter's Mark.
And that's that one.
33, 35 points of damage.
Is that within 30 feet?
No.
Okay. So
I thought this one's on 30 and that one's on 60.
But because of angles, I know you have to add a little
Yeah.
extra, so it'll be just
Yeah.
outside, won't it?
well, I might as well just still blast way on the grave at him. Why not? I've got a couple left.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, Cyrus is looking extremely wounded at this point and extremely panicked.
There we go.
Even more extremely now.
Hey, yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's unfortunate.
It's good job.
Our DM has just gone German.
Mm.
And I'm going to move up 30 feet. 5,
Hang
10.
on. We found one. We found one of them. That's it. You don't need to shoot me this time for that game that we play that I always die first
Sure.
in.
Yes. As Ekon's turn looms, and
Hey,
seeing
you're up. Yeah.
Ekon is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 70, 80. There, and then we'll dash, and I will say at this point we'll probably continue upwards and northwards and disappear out of sight.
Shit.
It's alright, we've got 2
Yeah.
carcasses, it's fine.
Oh well.
You
that's
noticed that
becoming-
Cyrus was intently focused on Ekon for a moment, and there was a look back, and then it went almost as if Cyrus gave the command "go."
Oh, look.
I mean, we can stop it anyway.
Yeah. Well, here's the campaign 4 villain.
Grey Tail.
Yeah. Down to
Face.
down 10 foot to punch range.
Oh, hits with
Um,
advantage.
Schmack. Oh, okay.
A 26 will hit, dealing 14 damage.
Smack.
A 20 will miss as you hit it, but you're kind of like getting a bit.
Can I roll Bardic after the fact? Do I have to declare it beforehand?
You have to declare it before
Well, no. That's the thing. You jumped on it before he
Fair. Go on.
You sure?
Yeah, go
Yeah.
on.
Cool. Thank you.
Because you didn't get a chance to say otherwise. So
Yet again. Francisco Gray.
Another dragon.
With
this time this is
with
the second
one-
green dragon you've killed.
with what? Black. Remember the other one? Retcon.
Yeah, I know, but it was green before.
Retcon.
Yeah.
With
You pushed it
one
so hard it
point of overkill.
Nice.
You're
Describe to me
welcome.
the finishing blow.
So I smack him on the with a bit of an uppercut, but on the side of the jaw, spinning him around, and the immovable rod cuts his head off.
We'll say it's probably not quite enough damage and momentum to do like full head rip off,
Hmm.
but you basically can
rip his throat.
rip
throat
the
out.
insides of the throat up to a point, which is what the finishing blow is. As you punch and his body shifts, and for a moment the wings go a little tense as the body reacts to a stiff shot, which kind of drops him a few feet, which kind of rends on the throat bit, and you just watch as he kind of gasps for air and gurgles as he's literally hanging from the immovable rod, and he will go immediately unconscious and will literally, as you now literally have an ancient green dragon hanging in the air by its neck from the inside.
You not only that, but you hung an ancient dragon.
In midair.
Actually hung a dragon. That is the stupidest thing, and I love it. Just
Hey,
So
fucking
I've-
immovable rod, man, if used in moments
Yeah.
like that, can be fucking interesting as combat
Like,
seemingly comes to an end, as there are no
I
more
do have
immediate
one quick
threats.
question. How far is that other dragon away?
I was going to say,
It
go to
went,
it on the
it
next
went,
one.
it went 160 feet away.
Ah, shit.
Can
And it can
I-
continue to do
no,
that.
Can I do a pepper box?
Still got range.
pepper
Probably
box. Yeah.
120 feet.
120.
320.
Nice. Okay, you certainly made it.
So the pepper box is going to fire.
Unlikely to kill, but hopefully. Fuck me.
Max!
Yeah, because
Holy
my
shit!
bow-
No, well, no,
330.
not max. Not max.
Yeah.
That was minimum on the normal piercing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's 32 points of damage.
How far away is the escaping dragon from me at the moment, would you say?
Well, it's moved 160 feet from this space right here.
Okay.
I'm going to take a shot
So-
as well then.
Hang on. It is 255 feet from you.
Yeah, I can take a shot.
Well, hang
Hey,
on.
Greytail, after you killed it, can you come down to me?
Yep, go on. Persephone, you may take a shot.
So I'm going to
Yeah,
aim.
after people have shot it, because I guess they're simultaneous.
Oh!
What?
Wow.
If this is not going to get its attention,
And I'm going to wail on the Gravis as well.
Hang on. Don't. The Whale of the Grave's not got range.
Ooh,
No, the Whales of the Grave hasn't got the range to target a second creature.
yeah.
Also, your crit's not working.
Yeah,
It's
well,
not
no, that's
D&D
Yeah.
Beyond, isn't it?
so it's another 6.
And
Uh,
the sneak
the 11.
attack.
No, sneak attack. He doesn't have advantage.
He aimed. He said he aimed.
I aimed.
But it's still but you'd still have disadvantage because of the distance.
Oh shit! Yeah, it's
Oh,
outside of.
okay,
Yeah, so it'd be
fine.
flat.
you
Oh no,
take
no, no.
sharpshooter?
But
You took sharpshooter.
Do you have sharpshooter?
I do, yeah.
Then that doesn't matter. Then yes, you would have had advantage on the shot.
okay, so with the
That
66 maxed as well, that's 36 plus 6, so that's 42 plus 24, so that's 66
Try to
plus
go if it just falls out the sky.
6 plus 11, so that's 77. With the necrotic, that's 85 points of damage. Allow me to do some math here.
Okay.
Daddy's like this. This one's escaped. It's free. 2 crits later.
What's the statistic chance of having 2 crits on the trot, especially on roll
1 in
20?
400.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
It's alive,
That's
but it is literally. It
Uh,
went from okay to extremely fucking wounded.
Can I do something as well, please?
Go for it, Liam. Come on, bring it.
This
home.
is the last chance.
I'm moving
Well,
30 foot in.
I
but
still
I'd say
have.
Ash still has a plan as well.
Okay.
I mean, my spell got 200 foot range as well.
Okay.
Oh no, I won't be able to work. Never mind.
Oh, Liam.
Okay. Leanne,
Too
you
far
said you
away,
have a Hail Mary.
I mean, I still have access to Psychic Lance.
Okay. So that's an intelligence saving throw it needs to make.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm gonna have to move off map a good bit, but I've got another 60 feet this round if I want it. I've also got Dimension Door to outrun it. If I Dimension Door, then Psychic Lance, then Dimension Door, then Psychic Lance.
You
Go,
can't.
Liam.
Is
Go,
the game
Liam.
you want to
Go.
God.
play?
You can't cast 2 spells a
Psychic
turn.
Lance tracks it,
No,
doesn't
but
it?
alternating turns, because I can close
Oh,
500
yeah.
feet per.
But you could, I mean, also, if the case, if you warned Hailra beforehand, you
Yeah.
could take Hailra and you could both land on the dragon.
Or I could take Persephone and just keep shooting it.
Yes, baby. That's
Okay,
what I like.
so
Annie, I think this dragon's dead.
so you're psychic lancing it, yes?
Yeah.
That's an
Yep, at the moment.
intelligence saving throw, which 21.
It passes. Takes half. Which I'm on the spell page on today's page. And boop.
Okay, so that's 14 points of damage.
Go, fly, little child.
Okay, yeah, it's still up. And
I'm
then
just gonna see like what would be the equivalent of a burst of feathers, and then just watch it just drop.
it's
Yeah.
in theory its turn would come around. It doesn't get its charge back. Okay, it would then another 160 foot away, so it's now 320 foot from that space.
So
I
I've
can
got
still
one.
shoot it.
No,
Yeah,
you
got
need to
one
have,
last
I'd say you need
attempt.
to have moved up from where you were. It's 120 foot from.
Three.
Next
It,
Oh,
to
right, okay.
Yeah, it's-
Persephone dash to me.
it's now 300.
Persephone dash to me.
It's 320 foot from here.
Where are you? Where are you at? Oh, you up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you do everything you can to try and get.
That's as far as I can get.
No,
But
you
you
do
also have
bonus
your-
action dash.
Bonus action, yeah.
You could sprint all the way up to her, and then she can just
Yeah,
bang
go
you
for
in
it.
front.
Okay.
that.
Dimension Door, 500 feet in front of its path.
On your turn.
So we're now 250
Something.
feet ahead of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah.
about 180 foot in front of it.
Okay,
So-
so you use your turn, then obviously Leanne uses it. It would technically then be back to the Void Dragon's turn, which it doesn't get its charge back. Which, seeing you guys... Actually, I'll make a perception check for it. Passive perception... 21. It would see you guys. And it would probably deviate northward. So you guys are 240 feet ahead of it. And then it's going to...
No, 500 feet. Well, 500 feet minus about 320.
Yeah.
They're more about 180. aren't
Okay,
they?
so you're 180 feet ahead. It's going to peel north and move 160 feet, which is going to make it 340 feet away from you.
All right, Persephone, take your turn.
Oh, I'm standing right next to you. She's at my... Actually, 20 feet. I can move 20 feet and shoot it.
No, just stay next to me, aim.
Okay.
Or can you not reach?
I
Out of
can
range.
still reach. I got sharpshooter, but my bow
320 foot is the
only-
limit.
320.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair.
So I'd have to move 20 feet, 30 feet ish, which then I could take a shot. And then if you come with me, we could dimension door again.
That's
So
fine.
We'll do that. We'll just
How
move
much
30
how many arrows do you have left, Persephone? Because
feet.
I don't remember the last time you ever bought arrows.
According to this, I'll take them off me. So I have got 17 left on me.
Okay.
Is that enough to kill this
That's all
dragon?
stuff.
Well, it depends if you hit or not.
That's a good point. Because I haven't even hunted mark this one, so that's a
Well,
bit
you
of a
can
pain.
move
Bonus
and
action.
then and
What-
then
that's what-
aim.
That's what I just said.
No,
I've
no,
got-
you can't.
Oh,
if you
shoot.
don't use any movement at all, you
Yeah.
cannot use aim.
So I'd have to be a free fall sort of shot
Yep.
on it.
Come on, you can do this.
So I'll take a shot then.
So,
Ooh, actions, short bow.
so do you want to move up, move your hunter's mark,
Yeah,
and then fire?
I'll do that. Just do that. It's
Okay.
fine. 31.
That hits. Roll damage.
And I will then do my damage. I've still got one Way of the Grave left, so I'll use that as well.
So that's 10
Even-
points of piercing damage with 12 points of
Necrotic.
necrotic.
And your hunter's mark.
Not
No,
hunter's
didn't-
marked.
Didn't
I
move.
didn't cast it.
You didn't move it
Oh, okay.
because it's not gone. It's still
Yeah.
there.
You could have just
need-
moved it.
You just haven't reassigned the
I
target.
haven't got any spell slots left.
No,
so
it's
no,
bonus action.
you've still got it
It's-
concentration.
It's
You've still got it spell up.
read how hunter's mark works, but it doesn't
Okay.
matter because Whale of the Grave with 1 point of overkill.
Got you.
As
Oh.
you guys teleported ahead, and Persephone, you just run forward and just take a quick aim and just let the arrow fly. You don't see the arrow; it goes out of your vision and it just arcs up, and you have no idea if you've hit or not. Vian starts running to catch up, ready to throw you forward again, as you just kind of watch the right wing just kind of crumple inwards towards its own body, and its entire body tilts and begins to fall, and does how an airplane would when it goes into like a death spin, going towards the floor as it's desperately trying to get itself moving again. And you just hear, and you kind of almost feel the ground quake a tiny bit as this massive form just impacts the floor, and it's now out of your visual range entirely.
I'll turn to Vianga. I think it went down.
Grab Persephone, one more dimension door to like 20 feet away from where it's falling.
Make
Confirm
sure
the
it's
kill.
dead.
Confirm the kill.
Yeah.
That's what Evan's been doing whilst you guys have been doing that, is making sure
Yeah.
Green's dead.
What I'll do is that.
So
that
yeah,
music in
you
my head
guys
plays.
teleport up and you see the infant void dragon. It is alive, but is in no combative state. It is on the floor and it is dying unless something is done.
Get that sword going. Come on, Vian, chop its head off.
I'll look
As-
at Vian and go.
As
Go
very
ahead.
much like a baby dragon would, despite being in an adult's body. It is flailing and panicking as much as it physically is able to, which isn't
Does
much.
Hailra tell me to finish it off?
She's not there.
Yeah, I tell you to finish. You can hear her shouting.
Yeah, no, that's like because
No,
we have 60
Hailra
seconds on me.
is way out of range.
No, because Vian's always tapped into Hailra at this point, unless said otherwise. She has 60
Telepathically.
seconds.
Psychically, yeah.
She has
Mhm.
60 seconds plus 1 mile on the range on that one. That's why I asked. His
You
killer
never-
is
you-
still inside of Vian's
I was going
head.
to say though, you never specified that it was procced before combat. That's why I'm going to be like, not really.
Oh no, that's just been because it's an action to put up and it lasts 60 seconds. It's just been a perpetual, like, unironically not pulling it out of nowhere. That was because Rivergoat was Evan, and then it started being Hailra, and I remember us talking about that.
Like I said, I'm going to say for this time no, because
Okay.
this
I
is
think
this is
Vian would know
this is what is
anyway,
Vian
but-
going to do.
Hmm.
Go, Vian, go. Might as well finish it. We've come all
I
this
mean,
far.
yeah.
I'll let you have the final kill.
I click that button.
I mean, there's no point rolling to hit. It's in no state to defend itself, so there's no
Yeah.
need to roll to hit. And you are able to finish it off relatively cleanly. Cass is up. You
Yeah.
did get a lay on
Yeah.
hands,
Yeah.
but you
She
went
is.
you
Yeah.
fucked off just
Oh.
before Evan could do it.
Literally, as I was
sorry.
about,
I needed a break.
literally as I was saying, I gonna lay on hands. You went BRB. So yeah.
Oh,
you
sorry.
you have 20 hit points.
There you go. That's
Oh,
what he
thank
did.
you.
I did tell him to just note what he used and then tell you when you come back, but we
Yeah.
forgot.
Thank you. How did we do that?
With
I
me
did-
and Vian being amazing.
I believe
Whoa, whoa,
Boomer,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Boomer
whoa,
started the Boomer started the amazing train on that one.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Chris.
You guys can circle jerk yourselves in a bit. Let's continue this roleplay.
Danny's so irritated.
Oh, I'm not.
Sorry, Danny.
No, the thing is, I knew you guys would win. That's the point. You guys are stupid. I knew this wouldn't be enough because there was
Wow,
there were
that doesn't seem too nice. Sorry.
Leanne and Persephone, you two finish this creature off, and it is very clearly gone now. You pull the blade out. What are you two doing?
I think we go back to the group first, heal, then scavenge the corpse for claws, scales, whatever. What do you reckon?
I mean, if you want to do that, whatever, go for it. I'm just gonna stay here, catch breath, and make sure it stays down.
It looks very straight. It's going to stay down, but that's absolutely cool. I'm going to stick with you. I'm not leaving you by yourself, just in case there's anyone else around.
I'd say after, yeah, I would have got the Pegasus to come, and I would have flown up, made sure that the dragon, the hanging dragon is dead, the red one is dead, and would be looking to start heading over towards the two of them.
Yeah, the red one, because of the way it died, is in a rapid decomposition because of the poison effects causing advanced necrosis. It's not like flesh falling off the bone, but it's a lot further along than it naturally should ever be.
Yes.
And given the nature of the green dragon itself, its body is also in the same sort of thing, but a little further behind because it died later.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're certainly able to keep an eye on both of them. And about 2 or 3 minutes later, as the combat ends, you can see a small group of people crest over the small hill that you guys initially, only a minute ago, crested. And that's literally all this combat was. This combat was just shy of a minute. You can see
It was 8, 9, 10 turns, I think.
It literally was the minute because the final shot landed on when Heritage should have ended.
About 2 or 3 minutes after that, so about 4 minutes in total, you can see 8 with not all of the people that you skirted by, but a good dozen or so. And they come up the hill, and they kind of just half stop because they don't quite like they're assessing the scene, assessing you guys, and seeing what the fuck. Do you know what I mean?
They're looking at the dragon that we've literally got strung up in the air, and they're going, "No, we weren't working for a dragon."
No, I would have. It's not hanging anymore because I want to make a point to get the rod back and my ring.
Yes.
Whatever time we had.
The horde in the horde golem, yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, eventually, the second you click the immovable rod, you lose the rod. Yeah, you lose the rod. You lose grip of it because its own body weight is far too much for your singular body to handle. But then when it clatters to the floor, then you can then go in and retrieve it afterwards.
Dig it out.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's grim.
Cool.
It's very grim. But you are able to do so. It is filthy. And digging through the pile of money and gems and trinkets, you're able to eventually find your ring. It would take some time, but this is... You won't be able to do that before interacting with 8 and his group, as they all approach and go, holy and this is 8. And he's kind of... Holy fucking shit. God have mercy, what the fuck happened?
That was your leader. That was their second in command. That was their experiment, pointing way off in the distance.
Oh no, that's out of visual range. You ain't got that. You can have the egg shells, I suppose.
Yeah, that's the remnants of their experiment. It landed somewhere over there. I'm presuming we saw it fall at least.
I would say, yeah. The second it started falling, you guys would have lost visual on it.
I'd say it's what, about 3? I mean, it's about 300-400 foot away from us.
Yeah,
I mean, we saw something that was about 30 miles away before. So
you would see it in the air, but the second it started falling, no. And you saw 30 miles away was a large meteor of a building falling into the sky. The second it got so low, it was gone.
I thought that was a pulse of light that was saying for something being created.
The pulse of light.
No.
on the boat.
Well, that
Deer
separated,
and-
that
A while
separated
ago,
the
yeah.
cloud.
Oh yeah, that was multiple miles wide. That was huge.
Yeah, but we were still saying it was supposedly outside of our visual range, is what we got to.
Never mind. Like, gathered
It's the
up.
final bit of the campaign. I've got to poke the DM just a little bit. He's gonna
No,
miss it.
it is not the
He's
end of
done
the
all of this
campaign.
for us.
I can still
What?
do what the fuck I like.
I know.
Let's not irritate him. We all survived. We're very thankful for Danny for running an amazing campaign. Let's let him have his finale. Oh dear.
Does anyone else speak at this point? As
Me and
80s...
Vian aren't there, so
No, I'm not talking to you.
Cass would stand up this point and come to stand next to Evan
And obviously,
and just
you would look at... like, you and him do kind of lock eyes a little bit, as in with 8. Again, because there is recognition, obviously, as you have done before.
let this be a lesson.
So what's your next... So what's the plan now, then? And this is him saying cautiously to you guys, now that they're out the way.
do you want to run a country?
No,
No.
He's too
You're
far
not
away. You
there.
can't even.
Yeah, you're not there. Oh yeah.
Yeah, just don't...
not there.
Just treat him like Liam. Just don't even respond. Just carry on. Carl's being a Liam. Let's carry on.
Yeah.
So what's your plan then? Now that you've done what you needed, or wanted. And he says that very cautiously, and like the group with him are tentative, because they don't know what to expect from you guys.
I believe that's up to us.
And possibly,
Right.
well, what we do is depending up to us, but I would hope the idea of being misled by these creatures may have compromised the ideals. What is exactly they wanted to gather you for? What did they tell you that to get them to side with them?
Promise of expanding our potentials, and doing a great deal more than we were. Breaking through the social barriers here.
Breaking the social barriers here is something that could have been done without brutalizing your own kind. Those who had the gift of magic should not have had it ripped from them. It is right. It is not right what has happened to you in this country. We will all agree to that. And we will continue to make, and we will try to continue to make strides to help you in this country. What has been done here is not right, but there is a far better way of going about it than what they had you believe was right.
I mean, also, how long have you been working for this group?
About a year. The others don't answer because they're like he's speaking to you directly, and like the others are kind of just listening. And as he responds, about a year.
So not only have they lied to you about their true form, lied to you about their intention, they also promised you something that they would never deliver.
Well, they didn't lie about everything. They did give
Seems
us a
like
lot
they
more
did.
power than we expected.
More power.
By
but not-
doing, sorry, Evan.
No. More power, yes, but not what they were giving. What you were gaining was a byproduct in exchange for what their true goal. Once it had been done, they'd have taken it all from you.
What the fuck was that then? Gesturing to the egg shells.
An enhanced and new form of dragon. His intentions to, well, it is It had only hatched a minute ago, and it is already nearly the size of these things. Its level of power would have been unstoppable if we'd have given it more time. Their intention for it would not have been good. The conquest of this country, of this world, possibly. All I am thankful for is that we stopped it before it had a chance.
Right.
Was that Danny?
He said right, but he said it like super hushed, like cause like it's
Yeah.
like an exhaled.
Yeah, because all we got was psst.
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah.
And he'll kind of say something quietly to one of the people to his right.
Does Cass pick it up?
Make a perception check.
She can see pointing. Yeah, she can see.
Yeah, I mean, if he's I could read lips, but yeah, I'll do.
He's, what it is, it's he's turned his head and he's talking, so you only see like the left side of him. That's why. I'd say it's just enough.
Okay.
You notice him say something along the lines of, "Go and let the others know we need to leave here."
She'll just kind of nod towards Evan slightly.
I hear Multosaurus noise.
Don't.
We send them to Montessori and they get bitch slapped.
I mean, I at least think I owe you a appreciation for enlightening us and dealing with those.
What I said was true. What happens here to those with magic is wrong, and I do intend to do something about it. It would be, I would appreciate any assistance that you may provide, and hopefully we can put steps in measure to make sure this place becomes, if not a haven for magic, at least we can get those who have the gift out without persecution.
Persuasion check. With advantage. The advantage is because of dragon corpses.
A little bit scared.
No, it's not intimidation, it's more honesty through brutality.
Yeah, the main thing is we told the truth before, and by God, were we right that time?
Yeah. That's it's not necessarily there. He's like, these guys aren't scared of you guys. This is more the proof is in the pudding sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? And this pudding is big and scaly, and a bit gamey.
They're not scared of us yet.
We've only just started.
Are you on your way back?
Oh no, I was gonna wait with the dragon. I had to go for the meme.
Okay.
I doubt things will change around here. It's been centuries. Things will never change. Although your words do at least mean something. It seems. I don't think.
Give us the
I don't.
chance to try.
You have a month. Prove your word like you've done before, and we'll see.
Of course.
Essentially,
I
going
will
forward.
I'm about to say, yeah, I will offer my hand again to him.
Oh no, this conversation, like they are like 50 foot from each other.
No, again, I step forward at this point and do offer my hand. I step about 25 foot, so about midway between the two, and I offer my hand again.
The 26 carried over. I would say he's willing to at least meet you halfway and will tentatively grab the hand. And at the end of the day, although he believes what you're saying, he's still cautious because he's almost waiting for the, and now I stab him. Do you know what I mean? And you being the type of person you are, you're aware of that tentative nature. He's almost like, you've met people before when you've done things where you're expecting things to go sideways. You're waiting for the blade coming at you from the side or something, and you can sense that trepidation. But he will meet your hand.
Yeah, about to say, yeah, about 5 foot, about 10 foot back, the maul was dropped because we were stepping things like I can't pull the weapon. It's not a thing. There you go.
And his hand will clasp with yours. And he did, like, the others went to follow him in, and he did wave them off. Just fine. Have a month. If you genuinely think you can make any progress with these people, then by all means go ahead. They're stubborn people. They're unwilling to change.
We start small, but we can continue. And believe me, we can make some progress with these. Kind of gesturing towards back the dragons.
Okay. I would say eventually, as other small clusters of the facility do eventually turn up behind, as in, because the problem was that, and the reason why they didn't turn up mid-fight is because he had to go back, talk and convince, and then like the word had to then he had to gather the others.
Yeah.
The odds are, unless the fight was long and drawn out, which would have been devastating for you guys, there was no hope of them ever catching up timing-wise. But eventually, the majority of the people, you assume there are some stragglers, based on what you saw going through, aren't there yet, but Persephone and Vian will eventually make their way back, yes?
Yeah, I would with Vian.
Yeah, sure. Okay. And so, yeah, you two would eventually return as you see the rotting dragon bodies and the rest of the facility members as you two return. Do you say or do anything?
Yeah, I'm going to look over to the pile of gold, and then I'm going to look at the carcasses, and then I'm going to go, right, what can I salvage of the carcasses first before Greytail pockets all the gold?
I'm already shoveling gold into a bag of holding.
Exactly.
Okay,
And I'm like,
are you trained in survival? As in, do you have
Yeah.
proficiency?
I have. I'll have a look. Hold on. I've got.
Before we start messing with the dragon bodies, just so you know, we've just got the assumption that if we have these bodies intact, we can use them as leverage and to discuss our point. If you start mutilating them, that'll probably drop. We won't be able to use them.
I do have dibs on the green one's head, though.
Oh, come on. Well, it's hanging in the sky, isn't it? Or is it bits of it? Isn't
No,
it?
not anymore.
Oh, okay. In that case, you have the carcasses. I'm going to the gold, and I'm going to start shoving gold and say, "Go, no, get off! It's my gold."
We're slapping each other's hands.
Can
to
we
try
have
and
the
stop them.
sunset moment of these two just fighting over it and Cass with her head in her hands?
It's like you know the scene. It's like the scene of a teen rom-com. You know when like they're in like a pool and they're like splashing each other with water and trying to push each other over and shit. But instead of a pool, it's like Scrooge McDuck's pool.
Like, that gem's mine. No, you can have this one.
As what it is, like Greytail is currently like ankle deep and he's like kneeling in the gold and he's got the bag of holding on the floor and he's just scooping. And Greytail, one thing catches your eye, you see a large ruby and you go and you just reach out for it instinctively as Persephone like reach it and both of your hands like almost interlock on it. As like you're almost like holding hands over this gem, and you both look at each other for a moment, and then both of your eyes narrow slightly. Like
Mine.
Right,
No, I don't do that. That was for the joke.
Yeah.
Mine.
And just make
Hang on.
both of you make initiative.
Can I bitch slap them both?
Nope.
At the
No,
maze
you're
hand?
nowhere near us. Initiative, sorry. He said.
Just an initiative roll.
Who gets at it first?
I can stop this fight, and I will.
Oh fucking hell!
Oh, plus 12.
Persephone, what you do is you let it go, and you pretend to grab. Oh, you can have that ruby. I want that diamond, which makes Greytail let go and go. Wait, where? And he lets go of the ruby, and then as you've let go of the ruby, you immediately slap your hand back on it and put it in your bag. And then by the time Grey turns back, he's like, Oh, you fucker. And then it's a race. It's a race of scooping gold, scooping gold, scooping gold.
I'd be putting necklaces on and everything. I would. I'd be like,
Yeah.
anything that's in there.
Bangles, like you throw in pockets, like it's coming out of everywhere. And a lot of the other people are kind of just watching you guys with like a, well, whatever, fine.
Yeah.
Between the two of you, and I'm not gonna fucking split it. You guys can figure that out.
Have they never seen a vault before? This...
Bearing in mind, this was the combined horde of 3 ancient well, 2 ancient and 1 adult dragon. Because
yeah, I've got one of those in my closet.
You have an ancient dragon in your closet.
No, the horde.
Horde of.
The horde stuff.
Howard just kind of stepped up behind, slightly next to Deanna.
There are 0 copper pieces. There are 20,000 silver pieces.
I'm liking where this is going.
There are 65,000 gold pieces.
I totally. Hold on, it's 20k silver.
Yep, 65k gold.
Gold, yeah.
If someone can put this in the chat in a moment, that would be appreciated. There are 30,000 platinum pieces.
Oh. So that's 300 gold pieces if we
as well as about 25,000 electrum pieces.
Oh.
Just the way we're shoveling, it's probably pretty much 50-50.
Rather than going into the miscellaneous gems, there is close to 80,000 gold pieces in gems, and a further 200,000 gold pieces in trinkets, art, other artifacts, and things like that. It's going to take you a while, but eventually you will get through it.
Yeah.
Total, you must remember, buddy, this was 2 ancient dragons and an adult dragon, and they combined their horde into this. Well, the horde golem was basically, they had enchanted their horde to defend itself.
I know, I'm still counting it.
Okay.
Yeah. Can I pop a detect magic and see what any magic items in the area?
Yeah.
It's almost as much as we have at my summer home.
There is a lot. There are a number of trinkets and artifacts that are magical. There are some art pieces are even magical to a point. You're talking multiple dozens of items here. You're talking, this is hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of thousands worth of gold pieces in stuff and money.
We can all pretty much have a mansion after this.
We could retire.
Yeah.
I think we're all retiring at this point, by the way. We just killed.
Is there any additional bag of holdings in this lot?
No.
What?
Damn it.
I think we're going off.
You can
I
make
hope
one
so.
in like 10 days.
There's a lot of stuff to move.
Yeah, but bag of holdings are infinite. They're infinite.
We've got like 4 bag of
About the only
holdings
things
in the
that won't fit in your bag of holdings are some of the bigger art pieces. But
yeah,
that doesn't matter. There's not many. There's probably about 4 or 5 frames that are about 6 foot.
Yeah, if anything can go in a bag of holding, boom, just point it in there.
Well, no, unfortunately, you don't get a
There's
look
not
in.
left.
Yeah, you don't get a look in because
Oh, come on, guys, you can't.
This can be split. This
the
can be split later.
Yeah, we're just swimming in it and chucking it in the bag of holding.
Like literally, these two are having their like romancy rom-com moment in the pool where they're like fucking like I said, rather than splashing each other with water and playing about and like diving on each other and like trying to fuck each other over for like a certain gem or whatever trinket they see, they're fighting in a pool of money. This is like a very interesting visual, like that's going on in my head of just these two fighting in a pool of money over the money.
What's that bloody cartoon you do? What's had a
Scrooge
pool of money?
McDuck.
Scrooge
McDuck.
I already made the
DuckTales.
reference. I already made
Yeah,
the
you said
reference.
that.
So,
DuckTales. Woohoo.
with 3 dragon bodies at your disposal to be used for leverage in influence, easily multiple hundreds of thousands of gold in gems, artifacts, art, just raw coinage. What is the generalized next steps for you guys, as
Well,
we're going to be starting to look a bit more long term with your plans going forward?
well, I'm thinking of a nice void dragon cloak, personally.
Big picture. Big picture stuff, like what you
Oh,
do for the
right,
rest of your
sorry.
life.
Sorry,
This
sorry.
is the epilogue.
This is as the camera like slowly pans out up into the sky, and you can get the visual of the entire battlefield and like you two fighting over some money, and like the credits start to roll, and then it's like post credits.
Text appears.
What the fuck
Yeah.
are you doing?
Like the flash of images, and it's like, and Persephone went off and did this.
Yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah.
Great Tail
Yeah.
went and did.
So let's start. Like, I'm just going to quickly open Discord. So let's start from the top of the list. So, Boomer, what are your
It's
plans,
quite
buddy?
a lengthy one.
Just give me the broad strokes,
Uh,
buddy, and then I'll narrate the rest.
Yeah, basically, I'll go back to Penelope,
What a surprise.
of course. He's going to develop, obviously, a portal back to Mulsora, so we can see where he's gone off initially to Magoth. And then after, he's just going to dash between the two countries to continue his outcast work.
Do we hear wedding bells in your future?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Family.
Developing a portal back to Multisora so you can go and show off to Magog your creations and your developments. Despite yours being despite your gun being a hell of a lot smaller, it definitely packs just as much, if not slightly more, of a punch. You have a god gun, my friend, and that is one thing size can never compare to.
What's
Just-
Magog's reaction, though?
You would be very impressed because the pepper box is technically more complex than the 4-shot pistols
It's a
that he has.
it's a higher round per minute, and it's literally a god gun.
Mhm.
It is
I also-
enchanted.
Yeah.
You will
The
also
technical.
you will also notice that as time develops and develops, you will notice that the gun can do a little bit more. Eventually, you will notice that months down the line, this is after tweaking and improving, that the gun feels randomly. You wake up one day after using the gun and practicing and tinkering that you've lost the ability to use the gun. And you quickly realize that it's suddenly now requiring an attunement that it never needed before. And you spend the time, you attune, and when you finish attuning, in the back of your head, on the almost exclusively in your left ear, you hear a voice,
Uh-oh.
an angelic voice, as this weapon was made of a material given by an aspect of Mistra. You have the potential, if Boomer would pursue it, to gain patronage with Mistra through the gun. And you basically have warlock levels available to him as Mistra's as a patron. As this gun has gained not sentience, but almost a phone line like connection. Something that would have required to develop over time.
Could it also be cleric?
No, it.
Specifically.
Arcana
warlock.
cleric, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. He
I
would be restrictive on what type of cleric, but it could be.
Mhm.
I love how that basically, yeah. So for his thing, he built a portal, a physical connection in the universe between two countries to go and show off his pistol.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
It's
then,
very Boomer.
and then afterwards, months later, got Mistra on speed dial.
Yep.
I think my
Yeah.
favorite part is
Not
it takes
only
a
that-
year to set up a portal like that when
Yeah.
he could have just gone like 364 days sooner.
Not only
Yeah.
that, but eventually your relationship will kindle a bit more, and you and Penelope will end up together if you chose to, as she's more than happy and interested in you.
Yeah, I think he'd set a shop up in Multishola somewhere.
Yeah, so not only does he have he's made a portal just to show off a pistol, not only does he have Mistra in his back pocket, But also, he has, in the single most competent caster and creator of the arcane in the entirety of the southern continent of Shringi. That is not a bad way to just continue learning alchemy.
Oh God, no.
I came here to learn how to make things go boom.
And he
Yeah.
learned how to make himself, the big titty mage girlfriend. Yeah, that's exactly what he's got. Well, not only that, but it's plural, Ben, because there are 13 of them.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah, you got the
The
girlfriend
clones.
and her 13 clones.
The wedding's going to be interesting.
He was so happy every
Yep.
night.
You know when they say 3
Every
weddings and a
years.
funeral? Well, this is 13 weddings and a funeral. The funeral's for Boomer because he's probably going to die of heart attack.
He'll die happy.
But, Hail.
Yeah, literally. Dying happy like doing
I'm going
that.
to do
Yeah,
Hail.
he would.
Rose, your characters are next because obviously C for Cass, but we're going to do Hailra first. Because I would imagine Cass and Evan are going to be slightly intermingled, so I'll allow you two to go together with that one.
Helra will be intermingled with Vian.
Okay, we'll come
It
back to
depends
that in a
completely
minute.
on Vian, so I don't mind postponing.
So, Cass and Evan, if you two want to openly discuss what you guys would probably be doing.
I
Feel free to
think it's
openly
always been the
discuss.
plan. Michael, if it's okay with you, I think Cass would ask Evan to go find her clones and ensure that this is her last life.
Yes, I think that would be the case. Definitely go to do that, though. Evan would ask if they could hold off to try and complete that 1 month promise first, to try and get this country in a stable position, and then head off. Because it's going to take us more than a month to go and find those bodies.
Oh, completely understand.
So with you two, then you spend.
And then there'd be one thing afterwards. So
I'll
there's one
I'll
thing that
narrate
Cass would
this
do
bit
for
and
the rest
then
of their life.
yeah.
Mhm.
So you guys spend a month using your political intrigue and influence that you guys have learnt over centuries to begin the process, which is not going to be immediate, but you have at least laid the groundwork of the progression towards the discrimination of arcane casters eradicated. It's going to take a lot longer than 1 month, for sure, but given your guys' skill, you have at least made enough of a change that 8 is trusting enough of you and is willing to at least remain in the country and continue trying. And you guys could be able to set up some level of autonomy where putting people that you've met in the party and other people you've met throughout this country in place to help that. Following that, you will then leave. You will then go to other countries, thank you, Liam, and begin the hunting and murdering of young elven children, which are your clones.
No, they're not
No,
young.
that isn't how it works.
They're not-
But not kids. They're basically elven forms of ourselves at the age, well, early hundreds, if that makes sense.
Okay.
We just go
So what was the thing following?
The thing following, I think I would have probably scoped this out whilst we've been around, certain areas, is with my share, if I was given a share of the loot, because there's a lot there, may I have some?
Yes, you can have your 5%.
I give you 5 gold.
5% and 5.
No, you will get an even share. Yeah.
Everyone
Thank
gets equal. Yeah.
Oh, that's very kind. I would request from Brunhilde to have some land outside of Fiedelmore, and then throughout my life, I would like for Cass to build a library, like
Question.
a great
Would
library.
you build it
Hello?
near Casa de Grey or elsewhere around
Yeah,
Fiedelmore?
I think it would be between the two, if that makes sense. So it's a stop on the way. So it's like this little kind of
What's the range on
library.
Molotov cocktails?
But I think it'll be more so like it becomes more of a sanctuary of sorts. So it's all quiet and comfortable downstairs, and still people come to chill out, or if they want to read, they can read. And Cass spends the rest of her life there before finally going to Coralon and her
Right.
husband.
So,
Um,
so yeah, you
Yeah.
will spend a significant amount of gold creating a library on the outskirts of Fjarmor, Brunhilde would be more than willing, and you will be able to set up a library. Just receiving the key. Yeah. Oh, Fluff.
Or you.
Good boy. You're good.
Cat cam.
Yeah, well, actually, I can turn cat command. I don't think it's on this. So.
Not on that.
But
Oh,
yeah, a library will eventually. It will take some time to set up, but a library will eventually be put in place in between, and then you can live the rest of your life in relative peace and harmony, however you so wish, before the eventual end will eventually come. But that's not for a while.
No,
Moving.
it's just
I
nice
think-
for Cass after
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
I think whilst that was happening, if I'm kind of sneaking myself in on the same one there, Danny, I don't know if
Yeah, go for it, because you two are technically entwined.
so. Evan would probably have continued to keep that promise, trying to set some more protection and order amongst the country, trying to make sure that the arcane users are protected, and such
Yeah.
an uprising that was a chance of coming never happens again. Probably gathers a group, not to the extent that he used to be in command of, but builds a more stable group of adventurers that kind of go between the groups, that are not so much the mercenary guild that was before, but more just people who help, similar to what we've got here. Well, what we got this
So more
group
like an
is.
adventurer's guild, but slightly akin.
more adventurers guild that can travel.
More
and go from-
altruistic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Would eventually, probably a couple of times on his travel through, probably ends up bringing through a couple of his students that probably ends up finding a couple of his one of his students that ends up meeting someone probably at Cass's library about 10, 20 years down the line. And those are the ones that we eventually pass on our
Yeah.
Mhm.
titles to.
It will take time, it will take practice, but eventually you will find people that you're happy with, and doing the work that you have, Evan, you'll be able to do that with relative ease.
What happens to Evan's bodies?
Do you keep them
Evan's-
or do you kill them?
No, Evan carries on. Once once eventually this
Yeah, we're not
human
going
body-
that far
Yeah.
ahead, but yeah.
once this human body passes on, you'll move to the next one and continue to relive this new life and make it spread his kind of knowledge and wisdoms to the rest of the world
Yeah.
as best as he can help in areas that may need it.
Yeah. What's the plan for you? The man who started shunned from his tribe unbeknownst to him, sent on a fool's quest that turned out to be true. What's your plan?
Ian, you're muted.
That is when you unmute.
Sorry. I want to go back home with the ice column to show people.
Oh god. Yeah, there we go.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it, really.
Literally just, there you go, job done, what do you need?
Returning
Job's done, you know.
Returning back to your home tribe, many people didn't expect to ever see you again, and a lot of the people that sent you are a bit older.
I'm
And
hoping not to see him again.
a lot of them are very dismissive towards you, as in, oh, did you find the ice golem, did you? Not actually expecting you to carry in tow the core of an ice golem.
Yes.
And many of them, especially some of the elders of the tribe, sent you on the quest before and after checking if there was any in the country you were sent to, with the out of character insurance that you wouldn't find one. Not only were they wrong, but you were very much right. And
Yeah.
your situation doesn't change. The shock is immediate and is heartfelt. But very quickly you notice that your tribe returns back to treating you how they did when you left. There is an unfortunate level of dissenting behavior towards you, and you do eventually get the feeling that this tribe, no matter what you do, will never change for the better in your favor.
Yeah.
But Deer is happy in that his conquest that he was sent on, his mission, was complete, along with a few side quests here and there, like killing a few dragons, nothing too big.
Yeah.
Or at least that's from his perspective.
Okay. Yeah,
Just activate the ice golem again.
just
Massacre.
fine, fuck it. You wanted it, keep it. But no, I would say
Problem is, eventually, it will reactivate. Years down the line, and more powerful than the time before when you guys fought it, it will eventually reactivate.
That's someone else's problem.
As it was never
Yeah.
official, it was essentially put into its regenerating mode. And each time the regeneration process takes longer, and it comes back stronger and longer and stronger and longer and stronger. Your tribe, would you help your tribe if they were accosted by the golem or not?
Not something like that. No, I'll just leave.
You would eventually no.
He probably had left long before that would have restored.
Announce to your knowledge, your tribe would eventually be wiped out by this ice golem.
Yeah.
You would never know, and probably would never hear of it. But Liam, you can be safe in the knowledge of that this golem would be far too strong at that point, given how strong it was when you guys fought it. And you don't know how many times it was defeated before then. Eventually, it will very quickly come back, overpower, and decimate. And now, in the country of Bjorven, this ice golem, minus its master, as it was when you met it, will roam again until it finds something or someone else to take control of it.
How is it Deer's epilogue is the darkest so far?
Yeah.
It makes
That's
sense. It
It's
makes
true, though.
sense.
Yeah.
It does make so much sense.
Right, Taylor.
Yeah.
We'll get through the epilogues and then we'll have a little chat on stream and you guys can ask some questions and things that you want to know if this happened and all that bollocks. We can get through them. Great, Taylor.
Yeah, I returned to Fjordamore. I promised to work for the Jarls. So I take up that position that they gave me. I think it was like protector of Fjordamore. So kind of I probably start off as a guard, but very quickly move my way up to some sort of rank with my abilities. I would also in that time I would fix up the house, get to know my parents a lot more, and I would try and use my hero influence to help in the putting the wizards back into civilized culture and kind of get rid of that racism that is against them.
Persecution. But yeah, you do work as the protectorate of Fjordamore under the Skjald clan. The clan is extremely weakened given a lot of the issues that have been going on, and you will notice that there seems to be people moving against the Skjalds. And there has been for some time, as things were noticed throughout the campaign that were never acted upon. But because of people like yourself and other people that have been pulled to influence, you're able to stop a war in that sense. Although their position is threatened as it stands. You work yourself your way up, and you don't start quite lowly. You do start a bit further up, but yeah, you work well, and you work as a adventurer, as a hero that is under the servitude of. Yeah. You get to know the parents you never knew you had, or never knew you would ever think to meet.
Mhm.
Hey, Frankie's home.
And with the servants of Vian's, the two maids and servants, you do manage to put some pride back into the Greytail home. And probably about a month or so goes by, and you wake up expecting the similar shouts of your mother and your father, and the smell of food cooking. And the food is there, but the familiar voices that you've gotten accustomed to and were just getting to know are no longer there. As it seems, at some point during
passed
that
on.
night, they passed on. Content with what you had done for yourself and what you were doing and are continuing to do.
Mhm.
It's a little disheartening, but peaceful at the same time. They didn't want to be there forever. They didn't want to ruin your life too much, but they're happy, and that makes you happy to at least some degree, given the fact that you've grown up for years not realizing you had any to even speak to. You thought you were alone in this world, and then to find out that not only was this family you never knew waiting for you, but you've managed to restore some semblance to it at the same time.
Hmm.
Leanne?
Oh, and the orphanage gets a big bag of money once a year.
A generous
And Dean
anonymous
moves in.
donator.
Yeah.
I like it. Leanne?
I think it's a safe assumption that obviously levels are gained at some point across.
Yeah, definitely.
Just for yeah.
Yeah. No, more than fair. Yeah.
Starting off, I do think she's really gotten the bug for adventuring and helping at this point,
Mm.
given how much newer she is to the cause. She does stay for a few months to make sure everything is like settled here.
Yeah, this is all new and exciting and different and fun.
Yeah. So she does want to go off adventuring to start with, if she can rope Hailra probably fairly easily into it.
There's no
Mhm.
arguments from her.
Didn't you pay
Though
her 1 gold to always be there?
I'm just though eventually as she does get older with it, she is eventually going to go to a small nice little open forest area with just that little bit of magic to it.
Hmm?
And she is going to sequester the Warple sword there and tell it to only present itself to anyone who would not misuse it.
Nice. So, taking up
It
the
is
man.
invisible and unscryable and undetectable until it chooses to present itself.
Yeah, so very Excalibur-esque.
After which she would probably retire to somewhere very fey and very cozy.
Okay. So, you get the bug for adventuring, and with a Hailra in tow, you clean up what little bits you can in the country of Brial and help out. And you travel. You're a very worldly woman anyway. You've travelled the width and breadth of Tira, although with your father. But you manage to travel now under your own speed, under your own power, and do different things, different quests. There are
Is
probably
anyone else taking the Derek on the topic of?
no one said it so far.
I assumed
I would have
Evan
assumed
and Cass went around the
I
world.
would have
on
assumed
the
it
Derek.
stayed with Evan because he was the one
Yeah.
feeding it. But yeah. And you will do probably some other big quests, probably not quite to the grandeur that you did with this group, but very, very interesting stories to tell and very bardic tales, and your name's probably mentioned in different countries for different reasons, for good and for worse. You will eventually return to Brial with the intention of sequestering the sword in a place that you felt fit, and you take it to the underwater cave where you met the hags, as it's a place of seemingly relatively strong power, where you met the nymph that you made friends with, which you would imagine keep in some form of contact with,
Oh, definitely.
and place the weapon there to be found upon someone worthy enough. You eventually are invited to the Summer Court Palace, where you and Hailra are able to live in extreme comfort under the princess title. Somewhere not just quite a little Fae, but extremely. And your adventures can continue further, but this time in a much more leisurely, definitely a lot more interesting pattern. Is there anything you would like to chip in on this, Hailra?
I think maybe one time when they're out, Hera will be like, "I'll be right back," and she's gone for about 6 months and then pops up again. And if it's okay with you, Danny, I think she looks a lot better, as in something has changed within her, kind of deal. And then she'll just live out the remainder of her life protecting Vianne, as she promised to do so.
A few months in, going on the adventures, you do fall sick. You do fall incredibly ill. And almost death's door, deathbed-esque. And this is the inner conflict of your new patronage and your old patronage conflicting. And essentially the fight for power in your own body is ravaging it. But with time, with help, and with some magical influences from other sources and other common connections you have, you're able to at least stave off death's door and not remove, but suppress and put a lock on the growing influence of the hag's energy inside you. You can't remove it, you can't make it less, but you can certainly stop it getting more. That is unfortunately a problem that will never go away unless directly confronted.
Yeah. And then I think on the day that she gets a clean bill of health, she would probably have a chat with Vianne and admit that, you know, she's kind of in love with her now, want to get married, all that jazz, you know, we can skip over that part, and then, yeah, happy ever after, right?
Very
If
much.
you're okay with that.
Very,
Cool.
very much. I was leaving that one for you because I'm like, Vianne would say yes if asked, but is dense enough where she wouldn't.
Yeah. I get it completely.
And last but not least,
yeah.
oh, go on.
No, just Princess of the Summer Court and her consort?
Princess Consort, yeah.
Princess
Princess Consort.
Everyone else's consorts are these like cute little like frail things, and Hair was just like motorcycle out in front of the palace.
Yep.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Full on goth girlfriend aesthetic, yeah. Whole deal. Cool. Thank you.
And last and very much least, Penelope. Persephone.
Penelope. I didn't realise Penelope was part of the group, but I think Persephone would set up an embassy in one of the main capitals, closer to her, obviously not the northern border, where she would then return back to her people to set up a trade envoy and diplomatic relations between both. And then I think she'd want to start a family, but then also take that family and join Cass and Evan in their little quiet life where they'd live out in peace and quiet, learning about the history of the elves and stuff from Cass and Evan.
And helping with the diplomatic relations, and like I said, with everyone else chipping in their influence. It's by no means a quick fix, but the progression has begun, and that's about the best it can be. With the vacancy of Cass and Evan, once that party's begun, and they go to do the business with Cass's clones and come back, you will eventually find someone that you would call your partner and begin the semblance of a family. To what level is Persephone's own discrepancy. And once settled and things quieten down and they're back in, and Evan and Cass are running their library and guild, you will eventually spend a lot of time with Cass and find out a lot of information, a lot of history. And it is sort of that off into the sunset, the 2.4 kids white picket fence dealy. I like it. You all have.
Before we finish, can I add something else to mine?
Go
You
on.
already
Oh
destroyed
god,
your
here we go.
village.
Here we go.
Can I
Oh wait,
talk
he's gonna
about
cast
my
Wall of
Goodberry ice
Fire.
cream
He's
business,
gonna
please?
cast Wall of Fire.
Oh, he wants to start his ice cream business.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And with the funds from the dragons, you're able to start up your Goodberry ice cream business. And with Evan's permission, you're able to use the derrick as a very large ice cream van. And with the recipe from your pop-up book, you are able to be... Just roll a d20 for me.
Yeah, Boomer would assist you to making the machines and all that.
Why do you have to help him? Why are you encouraging this?
Advantage on that.
Team.
This is the least
you-
I've got
worst
slightly
thing you could have
on
done.
this.
No, this is just a d20 roll, Liam.
Ah.
Total, when I say 2.5 kids, it's because it's an average thing. It's like a thing when you say the 2.5 kids.
Statistic.
Yeah.
I always thought it was a baby.
No.
Like the 0.5 is because it's not a kid, it's a
No,
baby.
because it's two to three.
Sorry.
The average household is 2 to 3 children, isn't it? That's why. I don't know. I just know it's a thing. But you become a very well reputationed salesman, dear, and a very eccentric one that appeals to the kids. And I would imagine that Deer would be the type of person. And like, have you ever seen them videos of the Turkish ice cream men that really fuck that fuck about with the kids for about 20 minutes to give them one scoop of ice cream?
Wait a minute. Are you really on about saying that Liam is becoming a perv? Is that what you're trying to say?
No.
Do you not know the video? But yeah, so like Deer would be the type of person. Deer would, yeah, like if you watch them, you'll understand. But Deer, you like it I think it fits. Deer would be the type of person to be that one where like it's about 20 minutes to give one scoop, and like you're a bit of a wind-up merchant. But the thing is, they kind of like it. It's a gimmick, and you travel. You would eventually, probably at some point, maybe if you give them the chance, go to like warmer climates, because I think having the ability to have ice cream in warm climates, because the thing is, it's very hard to do in these times because there's a lack of like freezers and fridges and stuff. But I think you'd be essentially like this traveling gimmick, but in not like gimmick as in like, oh, look at that fucking dickhead, but like, you know what I mean? You've got a bit of a talent, you've got a bit of a knack, you're entertaining.
Yeah.
And eventually you would be able to make this a Dairy Queen empire, or Dairy Deer empire, the double D's.
Dairy Deer.
No, he misspells it, so it says Dairy Deer.
Dairy Deer.
Dairy Deer.
Yeah, that was an interesting callback, Liam, considering you've had that book for a year. In real life year, I gave him this ice cream recipe. And they joked about this, and I like that it's come back full circle. But no, guys, like...
Oh,
mine's done.
That it is.
Oh,
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you.
58 episodes. Well, technically 59 if you count session 0. And 118 weeks later.
Oh.
Not accounting for breaks for Christmas and things like that. That is raw D&D session weeks. 118 weeks, because it's 2 weeks a session.
And we're only
Well over
level
2 years.
13, 14, something like that.
14.
Yeah.
I expected you guys to be a
doesn't do
little
that.
higher, but it is what it is. We've got 10-15 minutes, so do you guys have any, like, is there any NPCs you wonder about? Is there any questions? Because I think, and, like, feel free to ask.
I've got 2.
Go on.
I think one's a quick one, probably. Theon's fate's still the same.
Theon is perpetually imprisoned in Mechanus under the Marut control for impeachment of a binding celestial contract.
World's most boring pencil pusher.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
He's in a perpetual blank box to live eternal nothingness.
The other one was what happened to the characters in the springs.
In the hot springs. You mean the ones that were running?
Yeah. Yeah.
They continue to live a extremely fruitful and invested life, catering to adventurers, and they do try to keep it extremely hush-hush because they don't want it to extend more than just adventurers and things like that. But they gain a lot, and their connection to the Feywild is strong, given the Fey pool that they're in. No, they continue to succeed, expand, and develop. They don't grow because they try to keep themselves small purposefully in the south of Arbainum.
I think Boomer would have had another teleport secretly somewhere around that area so we can nap in every now and again.
That's impossible. That's
Break
impossible.
the entire
That's impossible.
reason They would. They
Oh,
said
yeah,
there was
'cause
no
they-
teleportation.
You can only go on there by foot.
You'd have to go to like Arbainum General and then wander over.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, they have warded
Yeah.
the area to protect from all
Forgot.
types like that.
I forgot that one.
We built a thing to
It's
make sure
really-
nobody could teleport nearby. Build a thing to teleport nearby.
Was there any?
Some stuff.
I have a question for you, Downey. Just a matter, and obviously you
no.
can not go into too in depth in case these things do appear next campaign. But is there anything that you kind of wish that we'd gone towards that we didn't? That you
No.
thought was going to be super interesting? Oh, okay, cool.
Because the thing is, there was 3 plot lines. There was 3 plot lines that all had the potential to be the story. The one you did.
Mm-hmm.
There was one with the clans and the warring clans that was impeding, which there was always the signs that the Skjalls were trying. There was plans to have them pushed out, and there was also with the Estovans, the Moralai Estovans to the east of Arbainum. Big giveaway was the ritual with the cloud in the sky and the missing of the clouds. You could have gone to those. You could have investigated into that. All 3 of those stories had the potential to be the main plot. I did that on purpose because rather than trying to force characters that don't have the desire to go into a specific storyline, rather than trying to force you guys into it, I purposely try and lay out. It was I've done it for the first time this campaign. I didn't do it in Moldsor and I didn't do it before. But essentially, this way, you guys could naturally gravitate to one story and I could develop it.
Yeah.
And then basically slightly shrink down the other ones, because otherwise 3 major disasters at once is stupid.
Yeah.
But basically, depending on whichever
Yeah.
one you latched onto, I would kind of, okay, this is the one, go with it. But I always, and I'm going to try doing it going forward with all campaigns, because I think personally it worked a fucking treat. Because
Oh, it is.
waiting to see which storyline you guys have a natural investment to from character perspectives, and then pushing it from there, rather than trying to cram a square shape into a round hole. Do you know what I mean? Eventually it would fit, but why?
Yeah. I think the main.
That's
yeah, the
why.
main-
And the thing is that even if you don't interact with it, I'll recycle it, as all good DMs should. Recycle content. If it doesn't get used, change it, fold it, twist it, flip it, and stick it in somewhere else.
Yeah, reskin it, put it somewhere
Exactly.
else.
But yeah, it was very much one of those things of those plot lines were there for us, but this is the one that we have is the one that we stumbled entirely.
This is the one we
over
jumped,
and just
jumped
like,
onto.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got to think with Helvetica being attacked by the assassins and them losing losing touch with employees, that was the start of the clans. That was the start there. The big ritual in the sky was that start there. The Frosselger was the start for the campaign you eventually hooked onto.
Yeah.
Those are essentially the main starting hooks. And because you guys never pushed into the assassins more, you kind of just like, oh shit, that was bad. Move on.
Well, we asked about the assassins for more information, and we got told we'll look into it, come back to us later.
And you never did.
And then we never went back.
By the time we came back, we stumbled
shit.
across another big plot. So it was like-
that's the thing. But that's the thing, though. I didn't want to kind of blunt force it. It was natural, and yeah, I think I'm definitely going to do it going forward in campaign 4, the next campaign, which will be starting New Year's.
Yeah.
I think it's good doing multiple plot lines like that, because I'm not going to try and force the story down one route. If you guys want to go left, and I've only got one story going right, I'm fucked. Whereas if I've got left, right, and center, and you guys go center, it's like, cool, I've got that one.
Yeah.
So guys, we next time when we're at plotline, it's left, center, or right. We turn reverse.
Yeah, go back.
Or all 3 just to fuck with Danny.
Or what we do is we all have backstories this time, right? Right, Matt?
We do.
We all
Mine-
have backstories.
Mine's all set up.
Whose
I
dad
just
am I
need
going
to
to
write
be?
mine.
I haven't had everyone's information. The only person I haven't heard any backstory information of for campaign 4 is Adam.
Huh?
Oh, no, son.
I've had
Adam,
I have had at least verbal broad strokes from everybody. Some I have had written up stuff for. I'll chase people later. That's not a priority right now.
Mhm.
We've got like
need
3
to-
months now,
Yeah.
haven't we? Plus,
Yeah.
to sort
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
We had like 2-hour conversation, Adam. I hope you've spoken to Danny.
I've sent you something on Discord ages ago.
I'll have to have a look again. I may have missed it or forgotten.
I did a brief one. I'm
But
working
yeah,
on
is there any
more.
more questions about characters and things from this campaign?
Yeah, I've got a question.
Go on.
Yeah, what happened to Cass's Displacer Beast?
Well,
Yeah.
it was left behind on the ship when she was taken, and it wasn't there when you guys found her. So at some point, it would have escaped between Skjalfa and Colossal Tega, and would have probably have disappeared into the wilderness or somewhere else.
You remember us mentioning it at one point in between, but I think it was one offhanded. What about the Displacer Beast?
Yeah.
But I think it
Like-
was an out of character comment as well.
Yeah.
A
I
little
got
bit. Yeah.
kidnapped by that point. Like I couldn't. I
The
had
problem-
no info
yeah,
over it, and
Cass,
nowhere turned
when
up.
Cass was taken, she wasn't allowed to take anything but what she had on her. She wasn't allowed to like pick up her bag or any bullshit like that. Unfortunately, the Displacer Beast was not in her pocket, so you know it was left behind and given its ability to hide and things like that, and no one ever looked for it. At some point, when you guys moored up, it probably slinked off the deck and wherever the
Went,
fuck it may
yeah.
be.
Fair.
What's chaos?
Ooh, yeah, I've got another question.
Go on.
When the guys came on the boat, he wasn't an assassin. He was
Yep.
with
The
Oh, the Clippy Cloppy.
Dwarven
No,
Paladin.
yeah,
Yep. When
the other guy that I told to leave and go find a new life.
Hmm?
What happened to him?
He left and found a new life.
yeah, no, like there's
Yeah, basically, that's it. You haven't got anything.
well, yeah, because it was a very minor character, but yeah,
Fair enough.
you scared him enough that yes, he would have gone and
He did leave and never come back.
attempt to make himself straight as good as he could. Quality of life is unknown, but
Mhm.
because obviously I never thought of it more than that. But yeah, no, he went with the right intentions.
Okay, cool.
What happened to Persephone's mister? Is he still with the other hag?
Yes, as a undead slave with no mind.
Oh.
And
Oh, he's a zombie.
well, that's what he always was. He was revived. It was like this old granny hag.
Don't want to know anymore. It's Persephone will not know that.
But you
Too
guys,
late.
You're
no,
not Persephone anymore.
this is all out of character. But no, she would have been like out on her little like walk through the shore sides and the mountain, and would have come across the corpse of. And it's a case of he looks like a fine gentleman. I'll bring him home. I'll give him something to eat. He'll be right as rain. Don't worry. And this, like,
Yeah,
for as
hags
much
are
as a necromancer hag can be, she's a sweet old fucking dear. She's lovely in the north of Frosselgirl.
She's not dear.
Liam, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear you anymore.
I mean, she's still a hag, so there's probably some weirdness.
Yeah, like I said, for as
much.
much as a hag that is a necromancer can be,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And she is this very, like, she's proper like a nana that knits and things like this. And basically, she has the Apollo, I think it was his name, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As like, almost like she treats him like a son. And she's made the implementation of with the revival to treat her like a grandmother. He makes her food, he gets her things, like if she needs something from the shops, quote marks, he will go out and fetch it. And
He's a mindless servant, essentially. I'm guessing.
but he's treats like grandmother grandson relationship.
Yeah.
And eventually, as and when she finds more, that will get added to, and she will have this collection of granddaughters and grandsons that do things for her. And the thing is, she's not the hag in the sense that she like invades the town and corrupts people. She does try to live a very reclusive life and just scavenges on what comes by.
Cool.
Any more?
What happened to Callista and Dr. Argyle?
I think we leave that up to them.
A little bit of
In
a
this
little bit of player
circumstance.
agency with that one, yeah. But I know the intention is obviously to fix Clarissa and get her mind on a level, which
Yeah.
would take time, but could be done. The corrections could be put in, and eventually Clarissa would become the happy-go-lucky self that she was and can be. I would say, given how the players discuss, they probably may end up together, but I'm going to leave that a little vague because that's their characters to choose if they would or not. I'm not
Yeah.
going to force a choice upon.
Well, we're already up to 14 weddings and no funeral till much later on, so we never know.
There is a mass grave though at in Bjorven.
Hmm.
Oh,
Oh.
thank you, Danny, for a great campaign.
you.
It was a lot of fun.
Oh, I do have a question.
Go on.
What happened to our bunny friend, the one who wanted my spores?
Oh, Pink's character.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
We never found the
She... No, you did. You did.
We did fan spores, yeah. They were on deer.
They were in his
Yeah.
armpit, remember? Remember, there was like this birthing ritual. It was weird. But
I
no,
remember now.
she will continue. Like, I don't know much about Doctor Who, but it's like I'd assume it's like TARDIS because she's got like the greenhouse that travels from place to place, looking for each time she's given a particular thing to find, plant, spore, like and she continues doing so through her little portal to the Feywild and being thrown place to place, essentially making this haven for all plants and all kinds. Like a Noah's Ark of plants. I know there's one in Iceland, I forget the name of it, but sort of like that. But more living and less sterile.
I would also imagine she crosses Fiona Hilder's path more than a couple times, considering she's
Yeah.
the Fey druid with the Fey greenhouse.
Yeah, I would say you'd be able
She
to
does the
locate
flowers
her.
for the wedding.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I think that's fair.
Weddings. The weddings in the greenhouse.
Oh God, no.
Hmm.
Yeah.
We'll talk
I
about
guess
it
would
later.
end up eating.
We have to be doing the
Stop
day.
doing
That's what
that.
we have to do.
No. We'll discuss wedding plans later, guys. I'm trying to end the campaign.
What happened to the base? The main that was still intact.
You mean the bit that was intact until it impacted with the floor and shattered into thousands upon thousands of pieces?
Yeah, Daddy, what happened to that one?
Ah.
It shattered into thousands upon thousands of pieces, and you guys dealt with that pretty conclusively, like an hour
Yeah.
ago. It was only intact until it met the floor.
Then it's the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, because essentially the way it worked, when they noticed that something had destabilized, they used the runes and rituals to essentially cut off sections by cutting hallways off and stuff and sealing it. But the problem is there was not enough power to stabilize the base, the portion of the base's presence in the astral sea where it was, which they had to then throw it back into the material plane for fear of, being lost in time and space bollocks. And in the panic, there was limited. There was no time for delicacy and placement. It was, we either land now or we don't land at all. And unfortunately, in the sky, gravity does its thing, and they play Meteor.
Yeah.
Luckily, with a mixture of Featherfall and other bits and bobs, that's how the majority of people were to survive, because, multiple castings, and there's a lot of things that they could have done to circumvent. A lot of people were lost, and hundreds of people were lost. But that essentially is what happens.
I hope.
Is there any other
Well, it's
further
over then.
questions?
Sorry?
Is there any other questions?
Nothing that comes to mind.
The only one I've got is what was that tower that Derek was heading towards?
That was the original intention for the Hag Coven. That was actually my original intention. That the way with the Vagabond and stuff was my way of recycling and getting you guys back on it.
Oh, okay.
The original intention was the numbers had possessed Derek, programmed him with go to here. The intention was you guys were going to fall into a whirlpool and end up in that exact cave.
Hmm.
Oh,
The other-
nice.
Yeah, and the way it was going to work was as well, one of the hags was going to be disguised as a prisoner, a young girl pretending to be kidnapped, and be like, and obviously at some point reveal herself like, ha ha, fuck you, cast spells.
Yeah.
You know, pretty much.
So
But that no,
literally
that's
brought-
that spire was the original encounter planned for the hags. You were going to go to them, but then obviously when that I had to tweak it slightly and then reinvested it in Dunvast, I think it was.
Mhm.
Yep.
So basically that was my sneaky way of completely recycling it into the same encounter, just in a different method.
I like that.
Cool.
DMs need to do it sometimes.
And the thing was, I did it all on the spot. Like, apart from the actual encounter in the cave, everything that led up to it, I was flying off the seat of my ass. I was scrolling notes down so I didn't lose shit as I was doing it. I did that with quite a few of the stories and encounters and missions, where I was writing notes as I was speaking so I could refer back to it and then type it up later. But yeah. No,
That's a good idea. Write that down. Write down. Oh shit, I need to be doing it.
Yeah, no, so literally, as I'm saying it, I'm writing it in shorthand with the intention of writing it fully later so I don't miss, like, things. Did that, like, you do that a lot. Like, DMs will know.
Oh yeah. Like people go to the left when you expect them to completely go to the right, and that people are asking questions that you're like, oh, I've not thought whether somebody is able to put an immovable rod in a dragon's throat, and then you have to make it up on the spot and write it down for future because Michael will bring it up in a session in 30 weeks time where it's
Yeah.
like, well, once this one time, right?
This one time
Yeah.
at band camp. But no, like,
We killed 3 dragons. I am not gonna lie. I fully thought we were gonna TPK.
and a golem,
I didn't
don't
think
forget,
we
and a
were.
horde golem.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should not have succeeded.
Oh,
Well,
I knew
yeah.
I knew you
Oh.
would. That's the thing. I knew you would.
No. Yeah, we really shouldn't have though.
I always
We
intended
got punching.
if the combat went heavily skewed damage wise in one dragon or the other, there was always going to betray each other. Like, if Cyrus would have been the one you targeted first, Bellatrix would have betrayed
Oh, yeah.
Cyrus. The reason why I think it's better poetically, because I'll give you a bit of behind the curtain, because essentially what it was, the 2 dragons, Magronda and Bellatrix, were the natural mother and father of the dragon.
Mhm.
Cyrus was brought in because he was a little wily and a little intelligent and knew some arcane. Didn't know how to. I couldn't do it, but he knew of it, and he was the one that basically set a lot of the logistics up and getting the mages and things. And underhandedly, while manipulating the egg and doing the things, had been basically giving it loyalty training to only listen to Cyrus, to reprogram it. He specifically had always intended to betray the 2, and was going to use the new creation to do so because it would have overpowered them.
So that leads to the question: what was the plan in the first place?
Yeah.
I think Rose kind of hit it on the head. The dragons wanted to use the powers that the Arcanist could harvest through the crystals, and it was the crystals they were using essentially to feed the dragon egg arcane energy to malform and twist it into a new breed of dragon, which was the Void Dragon from Kobold Press Tome of Beasts, for if
Yeah.
anyone that wants to look, that doesn't know. Page 140. And essentially create this almost unstoppable force that mechanically, no, but thematically, if it had had time to develop, would have been near immortal and unstoppable and could have wiped out cities and continents and countries. And the plan was to take this dragon and basically use it as a warhorse of death
Ooh.
and just destroy
I-
and rot the world.
I'm
But
very
no.
glad we didn't let it go.
I'm more glad that. Oh shit!
The thing is, without control, if it'd have only got away with no Cyrus, no Bellatrix, no Magronda, it probably wouldn't have ever done that because it wouldn't have had the understanding behind it. If
Yeah.
Cyrus had have got away with it, that's devastatingly world-ending.
Danny.
Yeah.
The adult version.
Mm-hmm.
I know the ancient has this property. I don't know if the adult one does. But isn't there something that should have happened when a void dragon dies?
Let me have a look. I may have misread it, but
Michael, the campaig's over now.
Oh no!
Stop
I'm glad it's over, but it should have. I
No,
remember
no, it
the
is more than over. It's just I'm just curious now at this point.
I'm about to say I know
Doesn't
the
like
ancient
blow
has the
up.
ability that when it dies, it does a death throes ability, which basically it goes supernova.
Yeah, we should have all died, but meh. Also, on another note, this is why we conspiracy theory, kids. You find out the plot much earlier. I'm going to
No,
conspiracy
it
theory
was-
the shit out of next campaign.
when you're right, but when you're wrong, yeah.
No, I thought I
Was
thought it,
wrong?
I thought it was very cool because like he wasn't bang on, but he was close enough.
Mhm.
Oh, we had it.
I'm going to do the same next campaign.
I don't see
Well,
any
not
ability
actually.
like it, Michael. I don't see it unless I'm just missing it.
It might be just be ancient.
It might be, yeah.
Yeah.
I may
Like-
may just be overlooking it, but I don't want to like read and like ignore you guys in the chat.
No, like I say, it's fine. It's just I remember reading the ability when I looked through it for the first time years ago when I found it, and I was like, "Oh, that's a really good thing." And like, "Oh no, we finally managed to kill it." Fuck you.
But yeah, that's essentially that was the intention. They were going to use this and manipulate it to manipulate their own child to be this absolute weapon of mass destruction. And if it had have got away on its own, it would have just acted like a dragon, just a dragon that doesn't know its own power, sort of thing. And do you know what I mean? As a normal dragon would live, it would get a horde. It would go and live somewhere. But the problem is, if it attacked at full force, what it thinks it's capable of, it can do like thrice as much and so on. And it would have caused a lot of destruction just naturally on its own. With Cyrus or Bellatrix, it would have been devastating.
Jeez.
And that would have been a case of, you guys don't deal with that, but some other adventurers will eventually have to take up the mantle as they've just fucked off to another continent and is settled.
Yeah.
So like in the Zatsuki continent in the center, some adventuring party takes up the mantle to slay these death-defying dragon.
No, this mutant
Should
dragon.
we roll stats for the next one?
No,
that's
we'll be doing that another time.
That's a different.
Yeah.
I know. Well, anyway, I'm
So
off,
if-
guys.
Well,
Good night.
Right,
good night, Carl. But
Oh, we haven't
See you
entered
later.
the
it's
session
fine.
yet,
It's
have
fine.
we?
It's fine. I'm just gonna sign
Quarter
off
past
now
10.
anyway.
Yeah, no, we know.
But no,
Right.
as Carl mentioned, obviously with rolling stats and stuff, the plan is to roll your guys' stats when we do a one shot at the start before we get into the one shot. So we're gonna do a little more interactive style. You guys know I'm telling this for the chat. We're doing like a bingo style method. You guys will all see it on the screen. It's nice. It's cool. It's a little bit of fun. I'll be talking to you guys behind the scenes about some one shot ideas and stuff that I've got. Thank you, Tortle. I'm glad
Yeah,
you
we do
enjoyed
that
it, man.
after this.
I highly suggest if you liked the ending, at least you podcast the rest of the episodes if you ever get some time and you're bored. Just have a listen because there's been a lot of build up. But I'm gonna sign off for now. I'm not gonna raid out tonight. I'm gonna sit and chat with these guys and sort some food for me and stuff. But yeah, I'm sad the campaign's ended, but I am looking forward to the new one. Which
Oh,
for the first time I'll mention to chat, they're going to an archipelago in a Sea of Thieves styled pirate and sea adventure called the Shockjade
Yar.
Archipelago.
Yeah.
Gonna be fun.
It shall be interesting.
Rose, I find that incredibly, what's the word? Racist, derogatory towards my character. Would like you to stop that, please.
Never.
You
Fuck
can get back
Jog on.
to-
But
You
I
can
feel
jog on.
attacked as my identity.
Oh,
You're not that character yet.
But
Back in your cage.
good night, chat.
Good
It was a
night.
pleasure to
Bye-bye.
have you, and I will see
Bye.
you tomorrow for some raft.
Yeah.
Good
Bye.
night.
bye everyone.
Bye.